connected. Alicia Kingston's about to hit the stage. You won't be rejected. Leader of the pack, she's got that soulful sound. Get ready for the ride, cause she's here to astound.
She's got the tenfold theory, got you thinking deep, exploring the unknown, secrets that she'll keep. Ginger ale queen, sipping on the throne. Her lyrics like bubbles rise and break on their own. Live stream's about to start. Get ready for the show. Alicia Kingston in the house, ready to let it all flow. From June to House of the Dragon, she'll take you on a ride. Reviewing your favorite shows with soulful lyrics on the side.
Greetings, ladies and gents of our lovely nerd sphere. How are we on this good Monday? Are you still hearing an echo, Meeks?
It's gone now.
Okay.
Cool. I'm great.
I am doing okay too. Good news, folks. I passed my citizenship test. So now I just have to wait to figure out, get the date for when I'm being sworn in. So, yay! I'll celebrate sometime soon. I don't know. Life be busy. Let's go over here to the chat room. Hello, chat folks. Hey, Maker, look.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that dog.
All week.
The whole time. I identified with Fisk so much in that moment, like never before.
When the foreign language hit, I'm like,
he ran up out of that room just going to another one.
Absolutely. See that beautiful
man.
Footage. Like, do it
Lady
again.
Helena.
Hey, Helena.
Hello.
Like, do it again.
Steven, what goes on?
Oh,
Amy L, hello. Yes, of course, you know we do. We can't ever get stuff on time, even when we actively do try to.
We were here. We're always here. We're just not live. We be talking.
Yeah. Indeed, Dan, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, we be talking.
We be talking.
Sometimes we get that we actually need to go live. But don't hold that against us. We are here. And there were some extra chats going on. Let's see. Yeah, they can't find. Look, and I want to give them all of the leeway because they're babies. However, I very much remember in my younger baby days, our choirs knew how to harmonize because we were properly taught that.
It's what he deserves.
Like schools has really gone downhill.
It's what he deserves.
But he doesn't deserve forgiveness. You're right. You're right.
Fisk, this is your job now. You got to learn. You can't punch everything.
It has been a while, Helena. It is lovely to see you.
My goodness.
Let me keep scrolling. Likes Whodunit's Netflix just released Residence.
Oh my gosh.
Who's in that? I feel like I've heard about it. Who's in that?
Who's in what? Oh, oh my gosh. The girl from The Orange Is the New Black. I can never the black lady who played Crazy Eyes or something.
Oh, okay. Got you. I know who you're talking about.
There's so many shows. I'm just like, man. That's why I'm glad I'm taking off next week so I can try to like put a dent in some of these shows.
Yeah, because there's a lot out there. Fashionably late. We try. We do try. Oh man. Oh, and thank you. I've been looking forward to this as well. Last week was a bit stressful, so I didn't do a whole lot. But now that the bulk of the stress has been relieved, we are here. Yeah. Choirs back then were mostly Gen X and Zennials.
We gonna sing together. That's because we were raised on singing. We were raised on singing everything. Disney
our
movies
life was literally a musical. You're correct.
The opposite of the Disney movies, Dream something. The ones who did like
DreamWorks,
All Dogs,
The Prince of Egypt,
Go to Heaven, and stuff like that.
And Anastasia, I think, was there too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm like all of that. We were raised on singing. So
yeah, it's Is it still my number one? It may not be my number one anymore, but I haven't assessed my list in quite some time. But yeah, The Sound of Music was like at the top of my charts forever.
For musicals or just for like?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, mine's will always and forever be.
Musicals specifically, but it's still one of my faves.
Singing in the Rain is my favorite. I know that forwards and backwards. That is my joint in the jam. It will always be. Oh, anything Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, Sid Sheree, fantastic.
Yeah, Ginger Rogers, man, they danced on air.
That's my guy.
And yeah, that's a song lyric, but it's also absolute fact. They were big.
Oh my gosh, everybody wants to be a cat.
That's when all of the multi you had to be super multi-talented.
You had to
be in this industry, and everybody wants to be a cat, bruh.
Grease, absolutely. First of all, I prefer Grease too because the songs were catchier.
I will sing you Grease. I will sing you Grease like right now in my sleep. I can sing you the whole musical.
To me, it's better because the songs.
Grease too. I liked Grease too, but yeah, the first one is just a whole vibe, and the whole soundtrack is also a vibe. And yes, Grease is the motherfucking word. You are right.
Grease 2 is just my stuff. Michelle Pfeiffer with her 2 notes. You better sing your 2 notes, bitch.
Michelle Pfeiffer just shines in everything she does. No matter what, how cheesy or corny it is, she rocks that shit. Man, so we are getting over here to episode 3,
which is a really great episode.
And it starts off, and yes, a Little Shop of Horrors absolutely will always be in my top 5. Correct.
Followed by Cats.
Ooh, Rider.
Come on, reproduction. I listen.
Reproduction, damn it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, it's a good thing Daphne ain't here because she absolutely would break down that whole song right now.
The best. Absolutely.
Yeah, we might have to do a discussion about musicals. Maybe put like a tier list together or something on musicals. We'll put a pin in that. Thank you guys for that thought.
Everything's gonna be S.
Everything that we love. I mean, we do that anyway, but yeah, we're nerds, so we're gonna overlap.
Oh, super! Before we get into this, is episode 3 the shortest? Like
it was.
I feel like we didn't travel a lot. I feel like we didn't travel a lot.
Yeah, we were pretty stationary.
The story was about the trial. Okay, because I was like, I feel like that's shorter.
Also, guys. Quick question: How is the music for everyone? It's slightly loud in my ear, but that may just be my control.
To me now, I did it to myself. Okay. Reproduction,
bruh. The songs are so damn cheesy.
I'm just gonna be there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pick like a month to maybe do a musical extravaganza every year.
It's not a bad volume.
Chantal, we'll go on, brethren. All right, where do we start here? Fisk is talking to Vanessa, and they're having these problems because the conservative voters don't like that she's not a trad wife, and he's trying to basically say, can you just hold on? The equivalent of keep the peace. Well, like when you listen to those entitled parents and entitled folks arguments,
he wants her to leave the underworld and the illegal stuff behind. And she's like, bro, that is our bread and butter. Excuse me, that is your bread and butter. Like, you can't just leave these people without guidance. They're going to do whatever.
And in the meantime, he's, again, as he does, being a hypocrite. Because while he says he's hands off, we all knew he wasn't going to really be hands off. Because there's a couple things that happens before the scene, but we'll get to that part specifically. In this conversation, I think Vanessa has every right to be throwing the shade that she is throwing because, bro, you fucking up, and I don't think you're really paying attention to the fine details like you need to. But yeah, we skip over to breakfast. Well, not skip, but while they're having breakfast, the aide comes in, and I really like that lady. I don't like that she's working for an asshole like Fisk, but I really dig her character.
I don't think she's working for Fisk. I think she's working more for the office. Now that she said that she's been doing this for a long time, and I was like, okay, well, girl, good luck though, because Fisk is a hair trigger. Let me tell you something. Right now, he's calm.
Why? If you pay attention to her face in these 2 episodes, especially, she's looking like, what the fuck?
She's like, and
So I think the more she uncovers, the more she's really starting to see, and she don't like that.
She's like, let me tell you some bad news. Okay, are we good? Okay,
man. Yeah, and also, while breakfast was interrupted, I get why she did it, because yeah, bro, you do need to put some eyes on this immediately. Maybe you need some better time management right now. And Vanessa, rightfully so, also looks annoyed. Like, you could classify it as like an everybody sucks here, but no, this is he wants her to comply and be whatever the fuck he wants the conservatives to see. And she's like, how about no?
She was like, you want me to stand here beside you and wave and take pictures with kids and stuff, but who's going to run the business?
Pretty, nah, exactly. The business don't run itself. It does not run itself.
If you get me this painting, I can go ahead and we can just go ahead and wash $2 million right there. And he's like, well, we don't need to do that no more because we're better than that. To him, he is like gone. Like
he's trying to one up. He's also trying to one up his dad.
He's above it. Him being the mayor is already like one up. So he's just like, we're above it now. We need to move. It's like the people who've been in the hood for so long, then they go to the suburbs. Like, yes, we made it to the suburbs. And I'm like, baby, just because you're in the suburbs, I'm gonna like you. So like, it's a lot you got to deal. And she's like, I don't want to do this. I built up everything in your absence. I put my sweat into this. And now you're like, we're going to abandon it? That's stupid. You can't abandon groups of people who are already volatile. And it's proving their point. Like that stuff. And it was like the people are having a shootout under a bridge, and he's like, well, that's not my business. Baby, number one, you're the mayor.
Just over a delivery. Right. Like, no, it is your business. What is that slogan that you tried to back that they came up with? Fist can fix it. Shit is blowing up. And yeah, it needs to be fixed. It's been blowing up. But we leave them at the breakfast table. He's getting ready to go into his first meeting for the day. And we scoot over to Matt, going to the bathroom at the courthouse, getting ready to go back in a trial.
Fuck that guy.
And the fucking cop, I didn't even write his name down because I don't care to remember.
I thought he was dead. The way he slammed them on that neck and that crunch happened,
I told you they weren't dead.
I'm like, somebody's got to die.
Now you can fuck your neck up pretty badly, but as long as I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 key places, if you don't hit or nick that with a knife or anything, you can survive. You're gonna have to recover, but obviously, movie magic, he's still walking around here the next day.
Right now, if we was on Netflix, they'd be dead. They would be dead on Netflix. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. They would be deceased.
I will not contest that. Mr. Dipstick. Yep, that is exactly the fuck. Because a good visual for you to see, if you go check out the Equalizer movie with Denzel Washington, the first one, when he goes into that hotel to get at them dudes that messed around with his passenger that came out the hotel crying, he broke all of their necks before he walked out, but he left them all alive. And they knew they didn't want to feel that pain ever again.
Well, we only saw one of the cops too. We don't know what happened to the other one. The other ones definitely should be laid the fuck up. He should definitely be unconscious. I don't think he's up and walking about, but I don't think he's dead either. He smashed their head into the table. He should be asleep. He should be asleep. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit, at least.
Laid up.
Yeah. But this dumbass comes into the bathroom trying to talk shit, and Matt is just looking at him like, bruh, if you really want to report me or think you could do something, go ahead. And then have fun trying to explain why you were at the key witness's house for no reason. I mean, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? Did you forget that I'm a lawyer?
Like, it makes no sense.
And he sachets his ass right out the fucking bathroom as he fucking should have. Because
that whole situation was stupid. Like, the moment he saw Matt, he should have backed the hell out.
He literally just whooped your ass last week.
No, I mean that, like the first time, the moment he walked into that apartment and saw Matt standing there, he should have backed the hell out. Like, no confrontation, no nothing. You should have just left.
Because and that's I think a great show of their arrogance. Period. They think that they can do whatever in front of whoever, and they didn't know that Matt had hands like that. So yeah,
trash.
Hey, wagwan brethren. Good to see you, brother.
Trash.
Hot trash. Yeah. So Matt goes back in there. We skip over to Cherry. He's got what was homie's name? I forget. The witness. He's got him on ice at a safe house. Brings him a little bit of that booger sugar because he needs to calm his squeaking ass down and be coherent.
Nick last name.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you're correct.
So put him on that tan big suit,
and then
we're talking about episode 3 of Daredevil.
3 and yes, Daredevil on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, you should go watch it.
Nope. What? Disney Plus.
Oh shit, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm thinking old Daredevil. My bad.
I'm like,
whoops.
Wrong.
Yes,
wrong.
Yes. Disney Plus. I forgot. Cherry pulls Shaft from SWAT, and he does a little okey doke switch because he knew. Remember, he's a decorated ex-cop. He knew exactly the moves they were going to make, and he planned ahead and was clever as fuck and left them on a wild goose chase. And the bullshit that really pissed me off is this motherfucker just got off the stand, and he tracked this dude down, which I honestly want to know how the guy found him, because they didn't show that part, and we just saw him on the stand, so he had to have gotten off and during the recess found where Cherry was and then started following him from there.
Or he could have. Well, honestly, I think somebody might have been just watching and been reporting, because that would make the most sense, especially since he was literally just on the stand and they went to break. Like he had to beeline it to wherever they were, and I think somebody else was watching. But either way, y'all are just dumb.
Well, yeah, y'all are
broad
dumb.
Daylight.
He pulls out the badge and Cherry, because he's a cheeky motherfucker, and I love this old man. He low key reminds me of Uncle C. He pulled out the badge like, yeah, hey officer, how you doing? Look, I got one too. You forget?
Twins.
And he's like, you know what? Open this fucking door, okay? I don't got time for your bullshit. And open it to absolutely fucking nothing.
Because I was like, I know he
laughs at him and rolls out.
Oh, it was masterful. Because I was like, please.
Masterful, right? Because as soon as he opened that door, we saw a car door opening up at the courthouse, and they crossing the street. Hey, Mother Roan, good to see you.
Hello. Like.
And yeah, and it is cutting it close, because they were holding just for the recess to come up, but of course New York traffic is a bitch like that.
Yep, and it's also they were worried about him, getting caught,
getting hurt. Yeah, or basically getting dead. And this is another fucked up thing that happens in real life with these types of cases. Homie gets there, he makes it in, he gets on the stand, and he does start telling the truth. But the whole left side of the fucking auditorium is cops with the what the hell did they call it on Voyager? You know, 10 point stare, something or other from Janeway.
10-yard stare?
No, that's not how they said it in the script. I forget what the exact wording was. It's been a while since I watched Voyager. But he's all those boys are looking at him, as well as a couple women in there too. But all of them are staring daggers.
Those blues are looking at him, which is trash.
And also to just show the real gravity of the situation. If you remember when the dirty cop asshole was on the stand, they showed that one guy after Matt insinuated that there was a witness, and he leaned over like, yeah, this dude cannot come and testify at all costs. And he leaned over in a very specific way for us to see there's a Punisher tattoo on his neck. So whatever cult they got brewing in the kitchen, that dude is one of them. And I suspect there's a number of other cops that are around, that are on the team also. And it's fucking disrespectful the way they doing it. So we do see him go in. We skip a little bit to fix his front man. I don't remember his name either. I'll just call him the front man.
Listen, I don't even know he's a front man. I called him the assistant. Hi, Lady D.
Hey, Mama D.
Who made it?
I'm surprised, and I'm shocked that I'm elated. Titillated, if you will. Oh my goodness!
Welcome back. Welcome back.
The beginning part of episode 3. We're in the trial, or starting the trial right now with Nikki Torres.
Okay. Yes.
Trash.
So
sad. Like,
boy. Yeah, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to that. Homeboy is there under the bridge with the meeting of the gangsters, and they start going in on it. Like, hey, look, this bloodshed bullshit needs to stop. You look at this. This is what you over there. This is what you owe him for the fuck shit that y'all pulled the other night that started all this shit. And big boy's trying to play big, you know. But look, if Fisk wants to give orders or some bullshit, he can come down here and tell me his motherfucking self.
Listen,
I don't take no orders from the mayor's lackeys. And
don't hand me nothing.
When he hits him, a good clap back is a good clap back. There's points for this. I don't work for the mayor. I work for the man. And we know who the fuck he's talking about. They know who the fuck he's talking about.
Listen,
so you little shut the fuck up and go do what the hell I just told you to do.
Absolutely not. I'm not. You're not my boss. I do this at work. I'm not playing with y'all. I will straight. Who put this on my desk? Who put this piece of paper on my desk? Who put this note on my desk? You're not my boss. You leave shit on my desk. You got to give it to my boss to give it to me. You want to give me something.
The other option, though, for them, in their case, their very specific case, is to get shot.
This ain't gonna do the shooting. Y'all can't shoot nobody because you're trying to look good. That's what they know. And that's what
you went to Boston. That's basically what he was saying.
That's why they showing ass, because they know that this man is not going to climb down and make a scene.
Who gonna check me? That's basically
who gonna check me, boo.
Who gonna check me?
Per my last email, I show Rob who I want on Red Hook. Per my last email.
This is your notive, effective immediately.
Look, I'm not paying that shit. I'm not doing that.
Oh, man.
I feel them completely. I'm not doing that. Like, Fisk got to make up his mind. He's either going to be in it or out it. And if he's going to be out it, he's got to give up power. He's got to give it to somebody. He's got to designate it to someone. Otherwise, all hell going to break loose.
Yeah. Or
go ahead.
When I saw that, I was like, man, like, I would be more afraid of his wife because she seems shiftless.
That's exactly what I was getting. Yeah, there's an asterisk next to all of this situation, though, because what we find out is Fisk actually didn't do this. Vanessa sent him out there. And yeah, she did it because it needed to be done. And he have the conversation with her later, like, I see what you were trying to do. You're trying to keep the peace. I respect that, but don't give me a reason not to trust you, bitch. What the fuck you mean, though?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the business up.
The way I looked at him,
the way that has held you down the most is her. You could have lost all this shit while you went on your damn sabbatical to go fuck with Echo and all of her people, and she had to bring you correct and chase your ass right the fuck back to New York.
I could grab my purse.
Grab my motherfucking reservation today.
Hand me my clutch.
I know Echo was a great show. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did, but I really love that show.
Echo was cool. They had its merit.
I liked it a lot, but now they're stuck.
He literally called on the energies of the ancestors, and I always love seeing that.
They made him become mayor. They hit him with the Doctor Strange 100,000 possibilities. Like
childhood trauma made him go, okay, maybe I should be mayor. Like, what, bro? My childhood trauma just makes me drink wine. I don't know, but okay. Cool. That's cool.
Could the man be Vanessa? I feel like that's gonna be a thing that comes through. I don't think she's gonna stop, and I don't fault her. Honestly, because just like Queen Rhaenyra, who I will always support, Team Black all day. I'm Team Vanessa because Fisk again. Fuck you.
I'm expecting some consequences and repercussions from Vanessa. I'm expecting her to. There's gonna be some consequences and some repercussions.
You know, okay, extremely bold prediction. She's gonna pull some okey doke shit like Madame Gao did with the hand in the defenders.
Sorry,
something's gonna happen, and she's gonna come back all like, "Oh, bitch, you had thought."
Literally, she's going to grab her purse, and she's just gonna be gone. He's gonna come home, and she's not gonna be there. She's gonna be like, "I'm over here running an actual business."
And I lied. I know where Adam is. I know where Adam is. He's in my bed. I lied.
We gonna get to that session. Hold on.
I lied.
So we get done with what's his name, the front man,
the assistant.
when
I don't know who
his
he
shit.
is.
And since Torres allowed his little scurry ass self to be intimidated on the stand, he lies and says that, oh no, I wasn't there, I ain't seen nothing, blah 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 blah, and the case damn near falls apart. So Matt does have to scramble to try to find something, because he knows that homeboy is innocent. He just can't find a way to prove that without the witness. But then we remember he does have an alter ego.
Before we get to that, the way that Matt had no eyeballs, he is blind, and he wanted to take off his glasses and be like, "What, nigga?
What?"
No eyes. He was like, "I gotta look at you, my no eyes." Like,
you know what it makes me think of? Y'all. I'm sure y'all know this man, Jordan. What is it? Jordan Stallion or something or other like that. Come here.
Come closer. Come closer.
Him, when he takes his glasses off and throws them, that is exactly what I foresaw happening with Matt on the stand.
He was so like, I know this
pain from him and swat him like his grandmama used to. What the? Because why? Why?
For what? Like, it wouldn't benefit him at all.
Did they pay you?
Say that White Tiger was actually arrested and actually convicted. What makes you think you're gonna be safe? What makes you think you're gonna be safe? Just because you side with them?
They're gonna tie up loose ends so nobody can come back later to do anything. That's literally the game plan. That is the standard operating procedure.
So you're sitting here willing to risk it. It makes no sense. It made no sense to me. I was just so frustrated and angry, and I understand exactly what Matt was going through. And McDuffie, is that her name? Both of them were just like,
yeah.
And
she did see it coming. To her credit, she saw the lines and she did. Matt, don't do that. Matt, don't do that. And then he does it. And
listen, when he started,
it's very egregious. Because he made the judge, well, he didn't make him, but he presented the better case of why him being the White Tiger should not be included. And now here he is using that very thing, and he gets all the smoke from the judge, which he deserves. However, I do still agree that was the only thing he could have done.
I think he should have pulled him aside and told him that he was going to.
He should have. Yes, I agree. And Hector told him that too.
It took two things to be like, listen, we're at impasse. There's nothing else we can do. I got to tell him, and I'm gonna turn around and tell him. A little courtesy sign.
Correct. Yeah, and I don't think he would have had a problem with it at all. And the reason that him doing this hit so hard is because there is literal proof, not just from the neighborhood, and we saw a few people get up on the stand and speak to the White Tiger's character, but from cops. Some of those cops that you could clearly see in that galley were nodding their heads when Mike went through the list after list of cop after cop after cop, saying if the White Tiger had not been there, I would have gotten got. I would not be here to even write this fucking report. And it's again over and over again. And Matt is always thorough in his prep and research. So I do like the way he presented it, but also, like I said, yeah, you deserve that smoke you got from the judge. And the prosecutor's bitch ass, I don't understand exactly what he was talking about with what's, I guess, whatever he's going to be doing with Matt later. I think that was a real bitch move. And even more so because he waited until the judge was out the door. I mean, if it was me and I was a judge, I'm not leaving anybody behind me walking out of my office. No, you motherfuckers get the fuck out right now.
You may leave. And you may leave. And you may leave. You may leave. Thank you so much.
Right. So, I mean, that whatever little bullshit threat that was, we know Matt's going to find a way to get around it. Some random shit. I don't know what he said.
Really?
Was that him? Good catch. Because I did not catch that at all. Very nice. Say Matt was double dipping. Yeah, low key. Yeah. And that's why the judge reamed him out. I mean, again, rightfully so. But I should look like Chris Rock said, I ain't saying he should have did it, but I understand. So once this comes out, you know, one of the main things he does is like ask Hector, you know, why did you do this? Why would you see someone that's about to be in any type of danger and you put your life on the line to help? Because it's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in this situation though, why would you, like, you know, they're calling you a cop killer and they're over here on their patrols, don't want you to win nothing, can't stand you, but you see them in trouble and you still help. Why? Because it's the right thing to do.
Like, and that didn't say nothing else. That was such a
I mean, and also in a city like, and Lady D can attest to this too, because she also knows the city as much as I do. That's not something that really happens a whole lot in New York, particularly like in Hell's Kitchen. No, a lot of that. That's why they say, you know, nothing can really phase a New Yorker, because we done seen so much shit already. We literally can't just very easily walk by a dead body and be like, oh well, you know, just another Tuesday. Not saying that we're heartless or anything. We just we don't react to stuff like that, especially if like you're seriously going to put yourself in danger. I mean, not just us, but anyone would think twice on that, especially if a dude has like a knife or a gun or whatever. If there's multiple of them, never matters to the White Tiger. No, he has the power that he needs, the strength from that amulet to go in and do what he needs to do and handle whoever he needs to handle. And a lot of the times he was helping cops. Why? Because those cops are stationed to that neighborhood. It's their job to protect the neighborhood. He wants to also see the neighborhood kept safe.
It was a really good, it turned into a really good witness interview and a really great closing argument that Matt had. It was excellent. Now, I don't know what the hell that guy was talking, because he said that. I was like, the first sentence and a half, I don't like and agree with. So no, your closing argument was
what?
Good people do bad things. Like, sorry,
yeah, exactly. So are you saying that, you know, this random good cop that you're representing could be doing bad things, but we should forgive them? But also, real quick, there was a street interview that BB did before the sentencing, and well, not sentencing, but before the jury came back and the verdicts was read. The guy said, and he's an older, I'm gonna say Puerto Rican man, and he's talking like, you know, I think he's not going to get a fair trial. Why? Because he's Puerto Rican. I mean, if he did it, I'm not trying to say we should let criminals go. No, if he did it, then yeah, he deserves punishment. But I don't think we're ever really going to get a chance to see whether he did it or not, because he's just going to be shuffled through the system and everybody's going to yada, yada, yada over it and lock him away. No fair trial. And that man was 100% correct, because that's exactly what they would do.
They tried it. Luckily, it did not work. Matt was on his A game. Matt got that A game popping. But I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, again, man, Matt is a thorough bitch, and I like that about him.
Enjoy that. But that whole trial was stressful. Like the whole, like,
it really was, bro.
It's been a long time since I was sitting here holding my damn breath, and I didn't realize I was doing
what happened.
You're never sure, especially with not just this type of show, but that type of situation. You're never sure where they're going to lean.
Yeah.
They could have just easily said he was guilty and killed him in prison.
Right, yeah, because even if he would have gotten the guilty plea, yeah, he would have just got. They would not have approved him being put in solitary. They would not have approved him being put on like a medium security or anything. No, they would have sent him to the maximum place they could and just let it known what he did.
Well, here's the thing. Most people wouldn't care because they don't care about cops anyway. It's just that the police inside, like the guards and stuff, is where your problem lies.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, he would have zero protection. Even if he got in a league with any of the groups in there, it would not matter. Yeah, and it would be a living hell until they killed him. So yeah, we did get the not guilties and not guilty across the board. You know, tens across the board. And I love that was a win, but immediately though I knew that this wasn't gonna stand.
I was like, oh my god, he won. Oh my god, you gotta leave.
And Matt tried to tell him, like, dude, look, I understand. You're right. I should have asked you first. However, now that it's out there, you cannot just go out in this suit anymore. Everyone's going to be gunning for you. They know where you are. They know who you are. They couldn't find out where you live, where your wife is, where your niece is. You can't go out, be going out here now all willy-nilly since it's known. I mean, for anyone, my comic book heads, look at what happened to Aunt, damn it, what the hell's her name? Spider-Man's uncle, Spider-Man's aunt. Look what happened when he unmasked himself. I believe it was like Civil War II in the comic book run. He took Tony's side, and he unmasked and said, "Hey, yeah, Peter Parker, I'm Spider-Man." And it wasn't too much longer until Aunt May, that's her name. Wasn't too much longer until Aunt May got dead because people wanted to hurt him. So yeah, I understand the reasons that he gave. Yes, the neighborhood does need someone to watch over them, but
you could have took a time out for me.
Hey, honey, maybe slow down, slow up. But no, I feel like it was like that night, or maybe the night after.
I think it was that night
that he goes out and he gets takes one to the dome, and that's it. Which I saw it coming, but it still pissed me off so much.
I knew he was gonna die, but I thought that we had a little more with him. But
I was hoping we would. And what we also see is, Fisk calls BB in for this impromptu monologue that he wants to give. Like, this is a travesty and miscarriage of judgment because a cop killer was allowed to go free because he's a vigilante, he's evil. This is bullshit, and I got to do something about it. So I think Fisk was the one who gave that order? Yes. No? So. You don't think so?
No.
You think so? Who do you think would have ordered it?
Just the cops. I think that the cops did of their own accord. I don't think.
Yeah, you're right. It could have just been a cop.
Fisk is still a part of the mind that he can try to make his changes through the system. He really wants to work through the system. And I'm waiting for the episode where he decides that it's not fucking working fast enough for him, and he's gonna do what he does. Fisk is going Fisk the way Fisk is.
I think the cops did it too. I think the cops did it, and the reason why is because there was a cop wearing. The guy who did it was wearing a Punisher shirt, and we saw all those Punisher tattoos that they do on the wrist and all that. So they have some sort of like cop fanboy for the Punisher thing going on, and I don't think Fisk would do anything and then be okay with you wearing the Punisher because he's against vigilantes as a whole. So I don't think. Yeah, I think that he's going to try to go through the quote-unquote right systems until he just doesn't freaking feel like it anymore.
Which I think will be tomorrow because they're giving us 2 episodes.
I think it'll be tomorrow.
They're giving us 2. I think also, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
On that note too, all these Punisher symbols and skulls we've been seeing around. Fuck all of you for sullying my good sir's name, okay? Frank would never, ever go out and do some shit like that.
Frank don't like y'all.
Frank would absolutely like y'all are vastly misunderstanding what Frank is about. If you think you being in this random ass cult is good luck for you. I'm just saying.
No, thank you. Like y'all
bro. That almost made me cry.
I didn't even make it. I was like, I heard the first croak and I went off. Because you're not about to get me. No. No.
Yeah, I think that's
super. It got me. So we used to go for spring break. We went to Puerto Rico twice when I was in college, and then after college, like it became like a quick trip thing, like from New York to go to Puerto Rico, because obviously we're in New York. And hearing him talk about the frogs, I was like, yo, you're absolutely right. It was annoying at first, but after a while, going there so many times, it's like it's just a part of it. It's like how you hear certain birds and certain, like the donkeys and stuff like that when you're on certain islands and you're just used to it. Like that, it really was. So hearing it at the end, it hit me right in the feels. I was like, damn, y'all, come on, man.
No, thank you. I don't want it.
Because his wife is still, alive, and so your mate for life essentially is out there singing essentially right now for you, crying, and she's never going to hear a song back. She's never going to hear you again. That shit is just horrible.
Yeah.
What made that worse is that during the trial, he revealed that he was out late because he got her an apartment and he was trying to set it up for her and surprise her. I'm like, I'm gonna be on the floor. I'll tell you for real. I'm gonna be on the floor for quite a few. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want the apartment. Somebody's gonna have to get it.
I'm gonna go hug my little support bear and just rock back and forth in the corner for a couple minutes.
I don't have time. I don't want it.
Yeah, rude as fuck. I mean, it's almost as egregious as our tax. And yes, it's been damn near 40 years. I'm still mad about it. Don't care. But yeah, it was very, very, very sad. And man's died just because he loved this neighborhood. Yeah,
trash.
That concludes Ep 3. So what are we measuring here?
Croaky frogs. The frogs.
No. Frogs, I think, is more to the homeland. The tiger is to him.
I think the frogs, period, because the actual actor is dead.
Yeah, I'm with the frogs because it's like it's.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he died in 1993. He died of cancer right after this. That's the reason we don't see him anymore.
Yeah.
He died.
I didn't hear that. Oh damn! R.I.P. If y'all got a drink someplace close by, y'all know I always got the rum on deck. Moment of silence once Meeks gets done pouring. Moment of silence. Toss it up. Mm-hmm. Indeed. Thank you for your service, White Tiger. That was some bullshit, and I hope Matt gives all of the smoke to whoever the fuck did it. And speaking of Matt, oh wait, shit.
Ratings.
Ratings, yes. Lady D, what is your rating for this episode now?
I'm gonna give this a solid 8. The only reason why I haven't reached 9 territory is because we're like towards mid-season, and I know it's gonna get deeper. Because like y'all, like the story of Hector and Ayala is like, and everything that's going on, like it's too meta. It's real world. Like they got a whole criminal. Running one of America's largest cities, which is basically a microcosm of America. They got a whole criminal running America, essentially, right? And this criminal is basically like a no to the good guys because they're not doing the good that I say that is good, which is through the court system that has failed people so many times. Like it was so like y'all. I don't even want to. Yeah, I don't want to say anymore because I'm not trying to end up in a work camp. But yeah, like like I give it a solid 8.
Yeah, and that is a real fear for any of y'all that may not know. Now, being any level of immigrant in the U.S. is just such a dangerous time right now. Ugh. Anywho's in. Meeks, what you got?
I give it an 8 as well. Like it was really, this whole episode was very compelling. It was very just like, it sucked you into what was going on. And at the end, a lot of people couldn't really tell which way it was going to go. And I think that was the best part about this. Nobody knew whether or not he was going to get the not guilty or the guilty, because we know how things can go, even though we know how we want things to go. So I'm just like, man, I was holding my breath. I was like, my booty was clenched. Everything was moist. Like, I just like, it was so well done. So definitely an 8 little froggies.
Indeed. Yes. So we are 8s across the board. I thought this was really great. And like the lady said, it's very meta because it reflects so much of the social and political climate right now in the US. So yeah, well done on the writers and all of the actors for putting this together. Moving on to episode 4, we pick up with Matt at the morgue. He's picking up Hector's suit and the medallion, and I really need to know where the medallion goes, because it's not even about the suit; it's the medallion that extends the powers. So where the hell is that thing going to end up?
Probably back with his family. I mean, it's part of his belongings, and that usually goes back to the family, so they can decide what they need to do with it or who gets what.
Well, more specifically, what is it going to lead to? I think, and that is that was my thought also, Damaris, because I mean it's low-key a family heirloom now. This is the tiger version of the Black Pantherisms right now with
that little girl out of my face. She was only on the screen for 0.5 seconds, and I was listen. I was like, you don't get her out of my face. I can't be crying 0.5 seconds into an episode. Get her out of my face. Mm-hmm. She did so good. And I'm like, you got to recast her because I'm not going to be able to make it if I see her again and she's upset. You know what I'm saying? Nope.
Like it's giving Little Bear Lady Mormont, and I loved every minute of it because she read the room correctly. She understood all of the assignments. Like, look, you need to let me see him, okay? You said he's going, whatever. And she broke in. Matter of fact, let's not dismiss that. Also, because dude looked at her like, "How did you even get in here?" She's a clever girl. All right, already without the damn medallion, she's a clever girl, and she's in there just like a Lady Mormont, cussing grown folks out and telling them what the situation really is. And I love that.
Comic book heads, no, like she's gonna get it. It only works for certain people in his family anyway. And yeah, you saw how she came in there like, I want to see what they did to him. And it wasn't even like, I want to see what happened. No, she's like, I want to know what they did. Like, she already, in her mind, she's like, I know it's the cops. I know y'all did it. I want to know, and I want to see, because just keeping it 100, like, from coming from the top of the Bronx on the east side, like, I'm ready to go on the west. I'm ready to go and say, who did it?
Mm-hmm.
Return so I can look you in the face. Because the first thing you're going to do is put that amulet on and, rip your fucking throat out. Like, you did to my uncle, I'm about to do that to you twice. Mm-hmm. So I'm with it. And it's crazy because I'm looking at this little girl. I'm like, look at this kitten. Yep. Like, look at this little, child. Like, is y'all trying to add her to the Young Avengers or something? Because she's little.
Exactly what I was just thinking. And kudos again. This is why I always share my love of the comics and their storylines, because a lot of times my folk in the chat always hold it down. So I don't consider it spoilers. That's why I'm putting it up here, because I feel like that is the logical road to go down that everyone would do. So yeah, they're saying that Denise gets it, and in the comics she becomes a white tiger. And what have we been seeing develop behind the scenes in all of the Marvel properties over the past couple years? We got Kate Bishop. We got I don't think Echo's going to be on that team. No, we got Miss Marvel. We got Wiccan. We're going to be getting Tommy at some point. We got not Iron. What is his name? Patriot, who is Isaiah Washington's grandson from Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm fairly certain at some point in time we're going to get Iron Lad, because that little boy that was in Iron Man 3 was all grown up at Tony's funeral. Well, not all grown up. He's still a kid, but he's in league with Riri Williams, who is also, again, a young Avenger. So I would not be surprised at all if she picks up the mantle once she hears the true family histories. And she goes about her business. And yeah, Kamala's going to come and see her too. Hey, we're putting a team together. And I sincerely hope that's what happens. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm just trying to see how old this girl is, because she looks like a baby.
She does, but also, and I know this may sound bad. I'm not trying to stereotype, but a lot of folks that I know from Brooklyn and very intimately being around the Puerto Rican population, a lot of those ladies are short. They're tiny. So it makes sense. She could be older than what she looks.
Girl, I can't tell. Usually you can tell. I can't tell.
Yeah, I haven't seen any like concrete, definitive, like, oh yeah, she's 12. She could be 12, but there's every possibility that she could be like 16 or 17 right there in that scene also.
I'm talking about in real life. I feel like she's
a teenager.
I feel like she's like 17, 18, somewhere in there. but I can't tell. I'm gonna find it.
I mean,
find it.
well, yeah. Later on, if she comes back, and I hope they do bring her back, because I love that small performance. It was just like the few bits of performance that we got from Diana in Lovecraft Country. Yeah, you got, for those few seconds, she owned that shit. She outshined the star of the show. That's not an easy feat to do. So after Matt gets the suit, and he was so, I feel like he did such a great job jumping into like the concerned uncle phase right there, because the minute she started popping off, she's like, hey, hold on, come over here, let's talk. He lets her get her feelings out, you know, comforts her in the pain, because it's also his pain. And I think that right there, and yeah, it is definitely going to go to her, and she's going to do and fulfill her uncle's wishes, because that's the right thing to do.
When people, both of them bonding over the fact that they know they both have the ability to do something, and now they're trying to fight hard to not do it. Because you know, Matt was like, that's such a good way to put it. Agreed, fully agreed. And that was like, if I could just.
And Matt is trying to find every excuse, and we will get to that point specifically in a couple scenes. So we hit the club for a little bit, and Daniel, I believe, the fucking fist lackey that, you know, basically, you know, dived into the butt cheeks of the kingpin to get where he is. Was that BB? Or just some other?
Yeah, it was BB, and it was somebody else.
Yeah, her homie. Yeah, and they're at the club chalking up, because of course he still want to try to shoot his shot. I don't blame him. She cute. But he does have to go to work in the morning, and it's already like 3-4 o'clock. And if y'all was hitting the clubs back in the day, like I know me and my friends were hitting the clubs, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock really wasn't even a thing. It might be 4 o'clock. We're gone from the club, hit Waffle House or White Castle. Go home, sleep for like an hour and a half, and be up and ready at work at 7 a.m. like nothing ever happened. Can't do that shit now in my old age.
Everything stops. Yeah, girl, I'm sleeping at 9. If I have a nap, I'm sleeping at 9:30.
I'm telling you.
I'm like, I can't do this.
We used to literally get off of work and then go from work to taking a shower to getting dressed to go downtown to pregame at whatever bar and happy hour to bar hop to then go to the club, to be at the club, to be from the club to go to another club that stays up, whatever, and go from that club to go get something to eat.
After party club.
To eat. You hopping on a train to go to whoever house now, because now you're like, we about to have a party over here. And maybe you pass out at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And it's Sunday, and you're like, dang, what are we going to do? I know, washing up and going to church. Now we in church. Feeling the spirit of the Lord and the vodka at the same time. Like, I don't even understand what's going on.
The Lord and the liquor.
Like, straight up, like, he's talking to me right now, because I'm feeling something. Right? Okay. You go home. Somebody's like, I know it's Sunday, but there is this thing at whatever, Seaport. Oh, God. Okay. Well, now I have to do that. And of course, 5 o'clock in the morning, you walking in your house and you like trying to calculate, okay, so if I got to be to work by 9, how many hours of sleep could I get? Okay, I can get an hour and a half of sleep. Get an hour and a half of sleep, take a 5-minute shower, put on these clothes that I already ironed, which is great, and head out the door. And that's exactly what we did. It was easy. Like, and now I could never. You hear me? Listen, right now I am struggling. It is 9:37. Okay, and I am holding this baby like, dang, sleep look good. Sleep looks so good. I want to sleep too.
I took a nap.
Yeah. I didn't take a nap.
It was a very good nap.
I was off today, so I didn't.
I had so much shit 11. To do. So I took a nap.
I didn't wake up. So,
dude, naps. I feel like the European countries that have a siesta,
they have it correct.
Their work day without going over your 8 hours. It's like mandatory nap time. I fucking love that. Y'all, like, they are doing the shit correctly. Right. Go lay down.
I have nap time all the time at work.
All time will always be that random sketch derp face at the top of it as a kid saying, no, I don't want to sleep, blah, blah, blah. And then cut down to as a 30-year-old, like, oh my God, a nap. Thank you. But
I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a nap. 30 minutes
and
to an
it'll
hour.
be a very good nap.
It will be an excellent nap. I will never listen. I just need it. It's what it is. If you want me to be nice and polite, you're going to let me have this nap.
Wow.
You're going to shut up.
I love sleep so much that one time we were about to go from New York back home to Ohio, and I was like, I can't make it back to the nursing home to go see Mama. And not saying that I didn't want to see her, no. I was tired and I legit needed a nap. We had already seen her like twice in the past 2 weeks we were there. So it wasn't a thing, but I did call her to say, hey, Mama, we were rolling out early in the morning. I'm sorry I couldn't be there. And this woman started laughing at me. And I was like, and she was like, girl, since I known you, you've been sleeping. So apparently I've always liked naps, and I stand that.
Naps are fantastic.
No indeed. Everyone should have, right, no notes. Everyone should have a nap. But after the club scene, Matt gets a phone call.
No, wait. We didn't talk about what was discussed during that. He accidentally opened his mouth trying to tell people what he got to do in the morning.
Because... And I don't know, maybe y'all might call me wrong for this, but bruh, what chance do you still really think you have with this young woman?
I don't even think it's a chance at this point. I feel like it's him making himself feel more important or seem more important than he is, which is beyond me because I still don't understand why he's right next to Fist the entire time, but he was just out here running papers.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of both of that. He's staying in the friend zone because he's hoping for more later, but then also I do not understand why Fisk even hired him. He's literally just a huge fanboy.
He's right there.
He
all
don't
the time.
know how to do shit, and
Yes, sir.
It's proven that he don't really know how to handle shit. Later on, well, not later on, but a few scenes after this.
Well, he opens his mouth.
All that shit he said.
He spoke that there was a meeting between Fisk and like a different company for workers or something to go around the union. That's what it was. Like they were trying to hire workers that are not a part of the union to get the project started cheaply, as opposed to negotiating with the union. I think. I remember Union Busters, but I don't know.
I think it was something along those lines, but it also had to do and chat room. If we're misremembering, please help clarify for us. I do also think it had something to do with a lot of the trash that was left out, because one of the girls in BB's live news, she was saying like, Fist promised to do all this good shit, but look, there's trash still everywhere. What? I thought he could fix it. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I think that he's trying to. They're making him negotiate with the unions. Which he doesn't want to do because he just wants to get the stuff done. He doesn't care what they want. He just wants to have it done. But Amy, listen, I hate this man's character, but Baby Soprano is doing what it do because he is giving off just enough ick.
You know what? And actually, you know what? No, I'll save it until we get to that scene. After this clubbing scene, and you when he says the thing that tripped him up, the camera is on BB's face, and she starts immediately snapped out of that liquor haze and was like, "Excuse me, huh?
What?
Wait, say that again."
They're doing what with who? Ain't that supposed to be union stuff?
Wagwan. It's who this.
Mm-hmm.
She clocks the tea immediately, and we see them getting in the car, and they go to breakfast or whatnot. Cut to. Matt gets called in for a special case. It's a very short scene, and he's like, I got you. I'm gonna head on down there. So he's going down to lock up to see about this new client. After that phone call, though, we cut back to Fisk and Vanessa.
Listen, this is my favorite thing.
With Matt's girlfriend.
Episodes of this, just episodes.
Yes,
of this.
Yes, agreed. Because the way it is revealed, and she's good at her job. I really do see how her profession in playing this role has come through. She asks about the affair partner. I think his name was Matthew.
Adam. His name was Adam, and she was like, "Well, first, are we trying to save or dissolve a marriage? Because every time I mention Adam, you flinch like a bitch. I love seeing Fisk uncomfortable. It's something about a big ass man who is so dangerous.
Right.
Sitting next to his wife, who's kind of like
the
close
words.
the gap a bit. She got a little closer to him. And then she's like, well, let's discuss Adam. And he's like, I don't want to talk about that.
Right, and then she looks over at Vanessa. I forget what the question was she asked, but Vanessa, you know, she spilled the tea. She spilled the tea. Oh, nicey night, Damaris. Thank you for coming through, homie.
Loves.
Yeah, be safe running with your moms tomorrow.
Those are the best. Except well for me, because I don't pay anything with mom. I leave pretend it's right.
Vanessa describes the thing she liked the most about Adam, and it was his hands.
So funny.
Because, you know, well, one, they weren't riddled with marks on his knuckles. Doing it
what talking about.
soft and silky smooth upon her skin. And the whole time, this scene reminded me so much of that scene where Louis and Louis' old flame and Lestat, because you can see Fisk as the camera is panned to Vanessa as she's telling this story, answering the question, and Fisk is like, "What the fuck?" Look, I think we need to actually go into that in detail.
She's like, "Yes."
Are you sure?
Yes, we do. We're having. I'm talking to Vanessa.
The petty. I feel like this is going to be the beginning of where that meme comes up. You know, it was at this moment he knew he fucked up. Because this is putting a lot of shit into motion, I think, more so than meets the eye. And she I cannot remember Matt's girl's name. Sorry about that. But she asks, you know, very pointedly, like, well, where is Adam now? And they both simultaneously, I don't know. She asks, yo, well, when did you end the relationship? Oh, I didn't get a chance to.
And I was
and
like,
she turns and looks at Fisk, and he's like, well, you know, I went and had a conversation with him. I made him aware of what our actual situation was and how I can never see myself continuing without her as my wife beside me. So you're going to have to just go off and do something else. Do I think that man ran off and did something else? No, I think he's probably at the bottom of the Hudson River with a bullet in his head.
I was like, he definitely did.
Can we just rewind a little back first? Because I, like, if y'all go back to that scene when she's talking about him, she's literally like, he put in that work. Like, the sketches, he was so good at sketching. I have never seen anybody roll their eyes in the back of their head talking about some sketches. Okay.
The petty of that moment, and y'all know we love a good petty. Vanessa was her bag, boy.
That is not what he was talking about. She was sitting right in front of him, like, oh yeah, bitch.
He was like, thank you.
So hard. I forgot to put it in my notes. Thank you for bringing that up.
Lady D, was the strokes.
It was all the long strokes. It was the brush strokes. It was the pencil strokes.
Amazing.
It was
he might the pencil strokes. He might as well have been sir break my backs over here, okay? And I'm not going to explain that. If you know, you know. I feel like Adam was sir break my backs because she enjoyed the fuck out of that shit. You could see that on her face. Not only was she reliving the memory, but she also could feel Fisk on the other side of the couch shivering in his timbers.
He was
shitting. I love her.
You don't never talk about my sketches like that.
He don't be sketching. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Like, you over here using crayon and marker.
Hey, what's going on, girl?
You got the brush. Why you don't got the brush? Chris?
Look,
she did. But then the lady, as they were leaving, she was like, "Let me just talk to Vanessa by herself." And he was like, "Why?" which I knew where this was going because everybody knows how Fisk is a violent man. And she was like, "Girl, I just want to check, are you safe in this relationship?
Are you
like,
good?
I'm fine. I'm great. He would never."
Like, boo, he's not the danger here. I am.
That's another reason I fucks with Matt Girl, man. She is a girl's girl. And not only is a girl's girl, but she reads the room and the atmosphere with very good clarity. 8K resolution, 64 megapixels. She out there. You dropping some bullshit, she will peep it immediately and nip it in the bud. And right here is where she's doing that. And Vanessa has an answer that did not surprise me at all, because I do believe it's true. At least at this point in time, I believe it's true. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm not worried about him in any shape or form when it comes to my physical being. So no, and I don't think he would ever try to do that. Right stroke, left stroke, had him. So look, I mean, we have no evidence to refute that statement. And from the look on her face, I feel like you're 100% spot on. Mm-hmm. Not to mention, he just really fucked off out of the sickbed that she was caring for him in to abscond and go and get his, niece / stepdaughter figure in the throes of her things that were happening. And
we never really know how long they were separated. Like, we don't get a time frame between Echo and the start of the show. They just said some months. Like, we don't know. But it was long enough that somebody else was poking that fire.
This She-Hulk and Echo, I think, are pretty close in the timeline. Well, for the current timeline we're in, anyway.
Yeah, but they don't give us an actual, distinct.
Right, there's no actual date. But we do know that the events in Echo happened first, and then came this.
We know that. They said it was they said it was months in between.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I need an exact time.
We can't calculate California time for that.
Like, I need a time frame, because this relationship is a relationship since you left, dog. Probably before you left.
Since you not even since you left, but since you came back and you tried to shut all this shit down. He basically, like, if you look at the mob boss level that she was at, not just holding it together. No, I give her more credit than that. Actually making the shit run and getting it together. She would, you could literally call her like the New York Griselda Blanco. She was running that shit, and it was a tight ship. There were no hiccups. Everybody was vibing in line, knew what was expected. And then here he come in fresh off his sabbatical because Echo put that spirit warrior hurt on him, and he didn't know how to deal with that. And now he's running for mayor, and he's in here doing some bullshit. And one of the things that really irked my nerves is when he got to the dock with his advisor and Daniel. I think there was somebody else there. I don't remember.
Yeah, the other guy.
Yeah, the advisor, man, and Daniel were there. And he's talking about, I want to build this new wing of the city starting right here. And again, this is why I really dig his assistant. She's looking at him like, you can't just say you want to build stuff like that. There's zoning laws to be considered. There's marine laws to be considered, because it is right there on the waterfront. He is on the docks. There's a whole bunch of different buildings.
Yep.
We don't know if those buildings are still functional or not. And if they're not, you still have to buy the land that they are on. This is not as simple. You can't just say something and speak it into fruition. You're not Rumpelstiltskin, dude. You don't got the magic to that capacity. You're not Doctor Strange. You're not Wanda out here.
Because I remember singing. I'm like, listen, he's trying to hurry up and do stuff, but he got to remember there's a nest in the tree, and the nest in the tree, or nest on the branch, and the branch on the tree, and the tree in the hole, in the ground. You got to follow. You got to
around and around, and the wheel goes all around.
You
have to follow procedure.
Like,
you can't do that. And he looks at it and he's saying, so
what do we need to do first?
Okay, so it's not just excuses. It's plausible. It's just going to be difficult. Where do we need to go first? And she's looking at him like, this thing permits it. Can you even renovate this part of the city? Do the people that are here
a viability study? It's called.
You know,
she was like, a viability study needs to be done. Do that. Well, first, we got to make sure
Lady D comes back. I'm not sure what happened with her camera.
And then they were like, and then you even before that, you got to bring it to the committee. Okay, we'll do that. We got to get it on the docket.
You know what?
That's the first thing we got to do. Yes, then put it on the docket.
He's right now. He's basically putting himself. He's not going. He's putting himself against the equivalent of what is probably the most legal HOA system ever. You cannot just come in
and do shit
and start changing all this bullshit, especially on the docks, bruh. Do you know the amount of money people make for coming into this port? The trade and the goods that go in and out.
Nobody was using it. Like,
wait,
nobody.
Hold on, real quick. B, if you can hear us, I cannot add you because it's saying one of your devices isn't connected. So double check your settings, and then I can bring you back on. Yeah, y'all know technology be plaguing us sometimes. I feel like
she's going to be a citizen as soon as they schedule her test. I mean, not her test. As soon as they schedule her what's it called? Swearing in.
I missed something. Wait,
yeah, Jackie asked how the citizen test go.
Oh yes. You weren't here when I made the answer. I passed. And yo, bruh, I was so fucking nervous. What little ad lib anecdote while Lady D is getting things situated. When I went in, you have to get 6 out of 10 possible questions correct on American policy, history, whatnot. Out of the for those 10 though, they can randomly pick out of a pool of 100 questions. And my first trip up was when they asked who creates the laws, is it the president or Congress? I could not remember exactly. They didn't phrase it like that. It's like, who makes the laws? That was the exact question. And in my brain, I could not decide whether it was the president or Congress.
Always Congress.
And I couldn't, right. And that was the right answer, but I didn't know which way to waver on that. And I guessed wrong. The other question that I missed was who was president during World War I?
Oh, bitch, I don't know. Roosevelt?
No, it was Woodrow Wilson, I believe is who told me later. No, Roosevelt, not in the same time frame.
I don't know presidents. I know Barack, I know Abraham, I know George. George Washington.
Right. So outside of those 2 that I missed, I still had like 3 questions to spare after that. But it didn't need to get that far because I got everything else correct. Then I took the writing test and the reading test, which I feel like they do that just maybe as a formality, like one of those rules that's grandfathered in to a program, because it's not about either of those tests. What really matters is how you pass that questionnaire on history and politics. So I did that, and yeah, Roosevelt was World War II. Yeah, and that's correct. I believe it was Woodrow Wilson was World War I. And the rest of the questions were easy that I could remember. Like my main concern was, y'all remember that show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Every answer and question I read in the study pamphlet, I knew that stuff. I was taught that in elementary and middle school. It's just a case of actually keeping it in your memory banks while you're there in the moment. And I was very nervous that's why I missed those 2 questions. Couldn't remember the exact things. But still, yeah, I passed. And but look, you're correct.
First of all, most Americans can't read. We're not even going to go there.
Let's not even look at the scores of how down bad we are relative to everyone else because of fuck shit people in charge. But that's another stream. We're not going to go there. That's another stream. But yes, again, for anyone that is tuning in late, your girl did pass the citizenship test. I am just waiting to find out when I will be sworn in officially as a citizen, that I can register to vote, because yeah, absolutely, I will be voting for the correct person this next coming election. I have to get my license changed so it has that little star on it, the real ID thing, so I can fly. Yeah. So good times, good times. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, that's why.
In our current political.
Yeah. I tried to go to whitehouse.gov and it kept sending me to the archives. And I was like, why is it sending me to the archives? And I had to go actually and type it in because as soon as you go to whitehouse.gov, it's that idiot. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like,
and even even just small things about immigration here. Even without what's going on now, though, the whole process of immigration is so fucking jacked in this country. Like originally, permanent resident aliens, they did not have an expiration card, an expiration date. Me, my mom, and several of my aunts came into the country like the year I was turning 3. So I think it was like 1983. And we came in just before Christmas, if I remember correctly. And our alien cards did not have anything expire, like we have to re-up or anything. It wasn't until I think the early 90s that they put in that 10-year stop on it. So for a lot of times, the BMV here to get IDs and driver licenses, they did not recognize the card that I had because it was such an old card. A lot of people there didn't know what it looked like, so they didn't know it was acceptable. But it is.
I can't stand it.
I got a lawyer. I didn't do this process by myself. It gave me a fucking headache every time I tried to look at it. So both two of my bosses are lawyers, and one of them hooked me up with her immigration lawyer friend, and bish bam boom. Just a few months later, I'm now about to be an American citizen, which is great for the climate that's happening right now. And it's wild to think because my lawyer said the whole process never runs this quickly as it did with my case. And I'm very thankful for that, for everyone that was, sending positive vibes into the ether for me. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And yeah, so your girl can officially tell ICE to go fuck themselves. B, I don't know if you're still listening in the chat, but hit me up hit us up in the group chat. Let us know if you could. You know what? I don't mind being on jury duty. I actually would love to have that experience. That's something that's always fascinating me. Law and Order is one of my favorite shows for a very long time.
I just want y'all to know that.
Yes, thank you, Miss Boots. Exactly, that's what it was. It fell into place so good.
Everybody else from the White House site.
Huh?
I was looking for a list of former presidents because I wanted to see if we were right, if you were right about Woodrow, and you're right. However, I can't access a list of former presidents on the current whitehouse.gov. They're gone. You can only access it through the archives.
That's not surprising. That's not surprising because they erase everything else on there. And yep, try to erase Jackie Robinson.
I was like, wow.
There's a whole lot of things that have been erased. What actually happened back in the day in Tulsa multiple times, that it took 2 TV shows watching Lovecraft Country. Rosewood, also a movie about a real town. Look up Oscarville and what happened with that. Look up what was in Central Park in New York before Park got there.
You can go to Trump White House, the first one, and you can see all the stuff listed. That's fine. Yeah. You can see like the archive and stuff listed, and then you can go to Biden and see it all listed. But the one currently has nothing on it but Trump's face.
It's wild. So yes, what I will cap this part of the conversation off in saying is, if you don't know what the actual situation is with immigrants, and not even just immigrants, because I've seen reports of a lot of Americans, legal Americans, Native Americans or folks of Latino descent that went to visit family are being detained at the borders by ICE when they have every right and all the correct paperwork to still be here. are being snatched up and put into these horrific concentration camps, just like when they locked the Japanese up for the war. It's fucking scary out here. And if you don't know anyone in your immediate vicinity, think of the shit that I just told you and remember that I was a part of that group. I'm your connection to that.
You shouldn't need a connection to that.
Please, if you can, please help. That's all I'm saying. I legitimately told Meeks and a couple of Lady D and a couple other folks, if you see me gone for more than 2 weeks, please come look for me, because that's a real fear. I was not saying that
they're doing that too, Jackie.
Joke fashion.
Yep.
So yeah, please try to watch out for your neighbors. Watch out for your folks. If you see or even have a maybe little inkling, please try to find out where they're at. Try to help them, please, because it's a very fucking serious situation, and I recognize that a lot of folks don't really see it like that. So I'm your conduit into that. That's all I'm saying. And back to the nerd shit. Back to the show. Thank y'all for allowing me that
yes,
little...
she won. She's a winner. Yay. She's a winner. You did that.
And you know what? Right. History repeating itself for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let us, yes.
And learning that you can't just do shit.
Right, exactly. You know, and kudos again. I really dig this woman's character. She's looking at him like, look, there are procedures you have to go through. If you want to do this, okay, but you can't just snap your fingers and say, hey, get this done. That's something that the Kingpin would do. You are now the mayor, and automatically you can see where his folly is. You're thinking that you can just snap your fingers and make this shit happen, just like on the bridge where he had them fill that hole without actually getting the proper permits. Now, if something happens in the way those dudes half-assed that job, it's going to cost the city possibly millions of dollars.
That whole bridge can come down because of that.
The proper channels. Exactly. So, and he's not thinking about the big picture when it comes to that.
I think he's only thinking about the big picture. I think he's thinking about the end result and how it's going to look. He's not thinking about the little shit. I think it's the reverse. I think he's not thinking about the little shit. I think
I'll give you that. Yeah, he's
stepping over the cracks to get to the end and not realizing that, sir, these cracks is cracks for a reason. You got to fill them before you go on.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you cannot just ignore things in the city. And if you pay attention again to that area, he's not even near where the problems that he know of is. He's over on the outskirts of the city, near one of the docks. What is you building this so-called utopia that you want to build going to do to properly help the citizens of the city you are the mayor of?
Well, I mean, it don't matter because, you know, Baby Sopranos, look, Baby Sopranos spilled the beans, and they got an article out of it.
Wait, hold on.
Did BB write the article, or did her friend write the article?
I think it was BB. I think it was BB because she's the only journalist that we've been introduced to this season, and she's very specifically has that tie to Ben Ulrich. That's his niece. So I think it was BB that wrote this. And if you again go back and look at that scene when he's talking and BB like really hears what he says, again, you know, she sparks right back up out of the liquor fog and is like, hold on, say what? Tell me that again, huh? And she puts the shit on blast as she should have.
Well, here's the thing: her friend was the one who mentioned about the union busting. Her friend mentioned that. That's why I was like, so either one of them could have done it. Because, you know, reporters hang out with reporters. So, you know, your friends, they're doing journalism. They hang out, you know. So I just assumed. I'm like, one of them did it. I didn't see the article, but I know it was an article. And Baby Soprano was like, shit, that was me. She said, oh my God, how did they know? I kind of told some people. And she was like, don't say shit else.
And also, wait, hold on. That conversation between the advisor and Daniel is happening while Fisk is in the meeting. And in the meeting I'm talking about is he had to go and jibber jabber with this class of elementary school kids.
We're in the city.
And they were the most off key, and we said this earlier in the beginning. I was saving it for when we got here. When I was in elementary and middle school, we were still taught to harmonize with each other. We know what face is, and I'm not going to explain that. If you're a music nerd and you've studied, you know what that is. On the scales of face, on the scales of everything in between, B minor, C minor, up A minor, all the way up in the spectrum of the treble. We knew how to make that happen, even as kids, because we were trained to do so. These children right here, I feel like they're the ones who their moms were always fussing that they should get a participation trophy. And I'm not trying to just throw shade at little children. Y'all know I love the tiny humans, but I will always call a spade when I see it. Fitz could not wait to get up and get out of that room. So before they got to the second chorus, he was like, "You know what? Oh, y'all are amazing, absolutely excellent, so talented. Wonderful. Keep doing what you're doing." Oh, well, so we have another.
No, we do not have another.
I could not possibly ask them to task themselves with that. No, they are so amazing. Absolute great talent. And I want y'all to continue to do what you do. I'm out. And he does all that to escape. And he gets to the second meeting, and he's arguing with the advisor because she just got him hit to game over the fuck up that has happened because of Daniel.
Well, she didn't tell him it was because of Daniel. She actually took responsibility for it.
Right. You're right.
She took responsibility for it. And he was just like, "Girl, what the hell is happening? What do you mean?"
And that is another reason I stan her character so much, because she is about business every time. And they go, and Fisk, he's talking all this shit, but then he looks around like, "Yo, where the fuck am I? What is the meeting? Why are we here for?" And she does her job, tells him what it is. He walks into the room. I am not, disclaimer, I am not making fun of anyone's culture.
It was so funny though.
The way they framed this.
Why did they dub that his song?
Scene, bruh.
How did that become his song?
I don't know. I'm sure there was caucasity involved.
Oh my god!
I have no explanation.
He got in there and he was like, "I am."
He heard that song. He just stopped. Like, what the fuck? Forgive us, y'all. Look, I already know I'm going to hell. I'm sorry.
Listen, like. Right.
That was some of the most absurd bullshit. Why is that the song that y'all picked? No, I need to see the dossier. Why? And look, Miss Boots, you're right. Bless the babies. And again, I love the tiny humans, but that was some nonsense.
I do believe that if he hears that song again, he's gonna go the hell off.
He's gonna pop the fuck off.
He's gonna be like, "You know what? Shut up. Shut up."
Didn't he do something like that in Echo? Didn't Maya like maybe it wasn't Maya. Maybe it was one of Sam's cronies. When I say Sam, I mean her. Who the fuck was he to her? Her uncle or cousin? I think it was her uncle. The dude that was the actual in Fist guy.
I think it was her uncle.
Yeah, he was the same person, same actor that played Sam in Twilight. That's why I called him Sam. I think it had something to do with Sam, and Kingpin came in when he really shouldn't have.
Yeah, I can't however, he is sick of that song, and I know he's going to flip out the next time he hears it in his grade. But
it's going to be hilarious.
But after that meeting, they cut to his office with him yelling. This is the first time the staff has seen him yell. He called everybody a meeting with everybody, and he yelled his ass off.
Are you motherfuckers?
How in the hell is there a leak? How did this get to the paper?
he tapped into how y'all see Gordon Ramsay when he's yelling at adults. You know, when you see Gordon Ramsay in a child competition, he is the most encouraging, loving uncle. Like, hey, I understand where your vision was going, but if you would have maybe did this and this and that, then it would have came out
so sweet,
in a different result. But
with them adults,
but with the adults, he holds. You will get no quarter from me, sir.
What the fuck were you thinking?
That is exactly what happened here. And Daniel, for whatever reason, is gifted with the golden tongue, and he is allowed to flip the script. Like before,
I don't think it was a flip the script. I think he saw his dedication to the situation.
That's what I was getting to. He's able to flip it so Fisk isn't extremely upset or maybe about to punch him in the face. He just goes in with the silver tongue, you know, Loki a la Rumpelstiltskin, and just starts listing off these things. You know, it was me that did it. I'm sorry, I got too overzealous. I thought that this could be something that could help you, and I was wrong. I'm so sorry, yo. If you want to fire me right now, I get it. I'm so sorry, sir.
You see, I'm like, baby, he wasn't thinking about firing, which is why the assistant was like, shut the fuck up.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. If you look at this woman's face throughout this whole exchange, especially, she's looking like, boy, shut the fuck. What the fuck are you doing? And mind you, Fisk cleared the room. He told everybody to get out, except for Daniel. And because this woman's integrity in her job is so high, she stays also.
Both of them stay. He asked for both of them to stay.
Did he ask her?
Yeah. He asked for Daniel to stay, and she was getting ready to leave. He was like, nah, you too. And she was like, okay.
I thought it was that she said, you know what, it's on me because he was my employee. I put him in that position, so I would take that hit. And Fisk was like, okay, you can take that too. I
thought that.
We watched that.
I remember as him telling Daniel to stay and her to stay, and then when everybody was leaving, she jumped in front and was like, it was my responsibility. I'm over him. It was my responsibility.
What? Yeah. See, I didn't think Fisk had asked her to stay though. That may have been the part that may have been a part that I missed. So I'll have to go back and rewatch that. But either way,
jumped her ass in front of him. I would not have. I would have been like, didn't I tell you open your mouth?
Oh, right. Like, you know what? You're right. This was your fuck up, and now you got to fix it.
Exactly. I'm not doing that. I'm not standing in front of you.
Yeah. So Daniel of the golden tongue, I will call him. He's literally able to talk himself out of Fisk's wrath and any like real meaningful or hurtful punishment. And it makes me think even more. And I was thinking this in the last stream that we did for episodes 1 and 2. But right now, I feel like there's some hidden connection with him and Fisk. And I don't know if I'm correct or in that, or if I'm just reading too into it. But he just seemed a little too overly eager from the very beginning to be by this dude's side. And I'm very much questioning what his ulterior motive is, if he has one. Because the front man, we know where he lay, but why is Daniel here? The only reason, as far as we've been shown that he's there, is because he was an exceptional kiss ass to Fisk. That's it. No other qualifications. Nothing.
We're in the middle.
Hold on.
We're in the middle of episode 4.
Okay, even more than that, Ricky, my bruh. It is so good to see you back again, man. No, welcome back. Ricky is one of our homies from Game of Thrones, and yeah, we've been friends for quite some time. Appreciate you being here, bruv.
Mm-hmm. John, that he is.
And how much? Yeah, you missed the whole episode. We're like, we got through episode 3, and we're about halfway through episode 4. Yes, Ricky, you know what? I am doing increasingly well as it was. I finally got my citizenship hooked up. I passed last Friday. Yes. So yeah, I'm doing cool though. It is so good to see you. It is so good to see you though, bro. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And yeah, y'all know I always got a soft spot for my Game of Thrones homies because that's the only reason I started this YouTube channel was because of Game of Thrones, and I've met so many awesome people, Manic, Meeks included, through Game of Thrones and Lovecraft Country, and it's been fantastic.
It's been 5 years, half a lump.
God, has it been 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. And you know what's really significant about that though, between me and Meeks, we've been in the same city for several years and just didn't know it. And I know for sure that we have been in the same spot on campus where I only lived a block away from. There's every chance in the multiverse that we could have met each other before you two.
I have been in Columbus for 20 years. 2004.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But that's okay. That's okay because now, and we're the homies.
It's funny,
and we bring you entertainment, and we love doing that. And I appreciate y'all for being here. Yes. So again, thank you, Ricky, for coming through. It's really good to see you, bro.
But yeah, Miss Boots, I'm not following you for trash.
Yeah,
you do it yourself.
Daniel talks himself out of it, and again, this is why I say this is one of the scenes where you have to zoom in to our lady advisor's face. She is looking at him like, "Hold the fuck on, bruh." What?
She is not. She is just like, I am shocked and shook that we made it out alive.
Yo, her timbers were shivered,
and then Fist fixes this by saying, "If you ever do this again, no one will ever hear from you." Ever again. You understand what I'm saying? And then she's like,
same thing I think he said to what was the boy's name? That Adam. I feel like he said something along those lines to Adam too.
Listen,
and that's
the way
so
she was like, "This is what I expected." Okay, like don't do that again because I'm not saying it in front of you next time. Like, sir.
Yeah. Okay, wait, hold on. You said comic iteration of this guy. You don't. Which guy? Which guy are you talking about? If you're talking about Daniel, I'm not sure. But if you're talking about Kingpin, I forget. Was it Daniel. Was it Spidey? Was it Spidey 2 that Michael Clark Duncan played Kingpin?
That
was Daredevil. That was Daredevil. No, the Daredevil with
the other one with John Travolta. No, dang. No, that's another one.
Did you just sully the name of John Travolta?
He was in Daredevil, wasn't he? No, it was the Punisher. It was the Punisher.
No.
He was in the Punisher. I was like, wasn't he in Daredevil? No, he was in the Punisher. Because I remember seeing something. I'm like, wasn't he in one of them things? It was the guy from The Mist was playing in that. There we go.
Yeah. No, stop it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Howard saying, well, okay, Daniel. Yeah, see, Daniel is the character that I have questions on. I'm side-eyeing this dude. And the more I look at him, I feel like there's a deeper connection that we're missing between him and Fist, because he is just so very out the blue gung-ho to be by this dude's side. That's not an aura that Fist gives off ever. So
I was so confused. I'm like, who is that? I didn't see Lady D because I was looking over here. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Lady D, if you could go ahead, give your thoughts on that. I need to visit the Lou BRB.
Mm-hmm. Give my thoughts on who, Daniel?
We were talking about
on Daniel and how he got caught leaking information.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. First off, like, again, I'm going to go back to how meta this is. Like, if y'all can remember the first time we went through this, right? There were all of these leaks that kept coming out because
all them emails
had the jobs that they had, right? Where there are people who made careers out of this, and so they knew not to say certain things, not to share certain things, not to be a certain way. And so I think that Daniel is just that. He's a real life, like, version, not real life, but a dramatic interpretation of that, of what we all saw that first time, what we're seeing again, right? Like, some journalists got some sex they wasn't supposed to get just today. So I think that shows like what happens when you put people in these positions that they don't deserve necessarily be in because they don't have the experience.
Come on.
So there's that. Also think that that BB, right? Like I think that BB, I don't know how else to say it. Like she's a journalist. Like she clearly was, the way that girl snapped in and out of pretending to be drunk. Like I think that was the whole point of them going out in the first place, was that so she could like mine him for information. And if she is old dude's niece, then she clearly would feel like, okay, Fisk had him killed, or she would have figured it out by now. She's an investigative journalist, right? Like she'd know. So there's that. As far as him being a sycophant, again, I think that it's the same like what we're looking at with the mirror image of reality right now. Like you see how it is. Like there are people who literally do not care what happens or what someone does. They will just be on this person's side no matter what, because of whatever ulterior motive that they actually have, right? That they're not just out saying, right? But whatever. And I think that's what it is with Daniel. Like at some point, maybe we'll figure out what the ulterior motive is. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all. I think he's just a mirror image of what we have happening now.
I agree.
I just want Fisk. I just want Danny to understand that it's only by the grace of him being mayor and him understanding that he needs to behave a certain way is the reason he got the warning in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because Fisk don't care. Like Fisk, the kingpin.
Right. Look, y'all think even to the Netflix very hard are standards of those shows, which they did a great job on. Y'all don't know the real Fisk. The real Fisk. No, this dude is ruthless. And if I remember correctly, in the comics when he was in his mayor phase, it was very clear he was still moving in the shadows. So I'm not sure why they are continuing to try to like hold up the veil in these stories.
I think for this one,
I don't know.
It's more of the parallel of Daredevil, of Matt and Fisk fighting their natures. It's in his nature to be Kingpin, just like it's in Matt's nature to be Daredevil. And so they're both fighting against doing what they need to do, what they want to do, what they're supposed to do. So that's why I think that's the reason why they're giving us a double episode tomorrow, because shit's gonna break. Both of them are going to crack.
I like that.
Both of them are going to crack, and I don't know if it's going to be an episode, a piece of them cracking, or if it's going to be they're both cracking in the first episode, and we get to see the repercussions of the crack in the second episode. So,
word. And before we jump back in, shout out to the brother, the homie, RJ from the Silver Sight. And if y'all don't know who the Silver Sight is, first of all, his channel name is awesome because it reminds me of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And the Silver Sight 3-episode story that was great. And if you go back into my histories, you'll see me, him, and Meeks talking about Loki season 1, and it was a great convo. And if you go over to his channel, I've been on there a few times. We always had a great time. Like, me, him, Ian, I believe Alex came through a few times. Critical was on there also. And yeah, it's always a good time. So appreciate you being here, Reggie. And also, FYI, life update, homie, I passed my citizenship test. So Ice can't go. I can say fuck you, Ice. And yeah, not sorry, because Ice is fucking with a lot of my immigrant people right now. I don't like it. But anywho's it? Again, thanks to everybody in the chat room. I always love seeing y'all come through. And we lost Lady D again, but it's giving me the same devices not connected again. Maybe refresh your mic or camera, and then I can add you on.
I think the baby is just pushing the button.
You know what? That's possible. That's possible.
The baby's like, "Where's my mother? Hold on, just."
Oh, and we understand. Right.
Baby's like, "I said what
Ooh, you got some good stuff coming up. Okay, hey, I will be there. I'm fairly certain Reggie's channel is already in the links below. If not, I will add him later. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Another one of my old school Game of Thrones homies, Edward Martin. Thank you very much for the congratulations, good sir. It is lovely to see you.
I'm sad.
Coming through. And she actually has two babies right now, two lovely baby girls in the family.
Last year she had.
There you go, Jackie. Got that address up for you. Thank you, Jackie.
House of the Dragon season 2 was when baby was born, like fresh.
Yes,
fresh. I remember that because she was like, "I gotta hold this baby in." Okay, look. Okay.
You
may try to attempt to do that.
And if you go back and you look at those streams, we also were on there full on with our lovely, beautiful Lady D with the mom face in full effect.
And the baby also, Black Wildling, baby Black Wildling is also chiming in.
Wait, who's still a Blackfire supporter? Explain yourself.
Talking about Lady D?
I feel like, are you talking about Lady D? Because I do not believe Lady D is a Blackfire supporter at all. She is the Black Wildling. She's a Wildling supporter. But no, I don't understand how you would think she would be a Blackfire supporter. Once you refresh, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's her MO at all. Right, look, Jackie is like, wait a minute, hold on. Oh my. Oh man. All right, well, let us get back over here. And we saw Matt running with the jerk cop. Yeah, while Matt was checking on that special case that his partner had asked him to go do, we see actually it started with Daniel and BB and her friend coming out of the club about to get in a taxi. Across the street was a person being arrested. I think it was for theft.
It wasn't across the street. They did like a cool cut, but
okay, maybe a couple blocks down. All right. And he, the cops, one of the cops, like started eating the snacks that he has stolen. And I understand where he's coming from for quite a lot of the story.
Sorry.
However, I think there's other things to be taken into account. I think when Matt talks to him, he is he's not requesting, he's demanding that when Matt talks to the prosecutor, he gets no jail time and just probation.
Yeah, the fiddle faddle
and
caramel corn.
At first I was like, okay, you know what, from what we saw, the only thing we saw was a little petty theft at 7-Eleven.
It's petty theft. You should get the misdemeanor.
Okay, that makes sense. But then we find out he has this years long
20-page rap sheet, they said.
20 pages of you coming in and doing petty crimes. And I get it. I have very much been into some of the intricate niches of need in a city like New York. And I understand where he's coming from with, having to deal with the system and put up with deadlines, trying to get your applications and food stamps and whatnot. I know that very intimately. And I say with that full knowledge and with my full chest, bruh, you really need to sit down and shut the fuck up.
Come on. Like, sir, are you kidding?
Seriously, you want Matt to go in there and tell them, oh no, just put it on probation, he not gonna do it again. Well, guess what? They did that for the last 15 times. And for the 15 times before that, they held you for increasing number of days, weeks, because you are a repeat offender. And his argument at one point, and I'll just group all this in together because it is spaced out, but it doesn't need to be for the discussion. his counter to that is, you know, last time they held me in lockup and I had to serve like my little 21 days or whatnot, I wasn't able to go for the interview to keep my Social Security and food stamps benefits. Oh, okay, I understand that. Again, I very intimately know that situation, not just on the side of someone that is using the food stamps, but also on the side of my current job that is in charge of facilitating some of those food stamps.
However,
You are wrong, sir. Understand? You feel like it's a slight because you missed your appointment for that day, but you wouldn't have missed your appointment if you weren't out here doing the bullshit to get arrested in the first place.
Sir, you don't need the caramel corn. I get it. You want it because it's tasty and you want a treat every now and then. I get that. You can either save up and buy that treat and ration that treat, or you can have that treat. Like, sir, you got to sit here and deal with what you got. You got to make it do what it do. But you out here stealing, and then you're gonna get frustrated to get arrested for stealing. Like, sir, it's a circle.
And what he does is, you know, he says to Matt, like, you know what, man, look, it don't even matter what the fuck you do because the system is bullshit. And Matt negotiated for him. He saw it situation. He was like, you know what? Okay, fine. I got you. I'll go see what I can do. And he negotiates from 35 days down to just 10 days in jail, including the one that he's already spent. So 9 days, and then you could go ahead and go out and have your probation like you were requesting. But Matt tells him this, and the dude is like, no, what the fuck you mean? That's not good enough. No, it's some bullshit that I'm even in here in the first place. But sir, you're a thief. It's not some bullshit. They have 20 pages, and I don't know if y'all know anything about lawyer files, but 20 pages of just one offense. There's not just those pages of the offenses they were written out. There's a whole bunch of extracurricular shit that goes in with that. So his folder, his rap sheet, is probably about 3 inches thick. And the judge is going to look at that and say, nah, you just got to go sit down for a while and you can get years. But you think you're entitled to damn near no days at all because you're in hardship. And again, I know what it is to be on food stamps and public assistance. I was not bruh. I wish, seriously, I wish I could get food stamps right now, dude. The way shit is expensive. But he does get food stamps. He gets SSI, which is Social Security income. He gets, I would assume, probably cash advances also. But the way he was presented when he was getting arrested, I thought he didn't even have any of that. He looked like a homeless dude. And once I found out what it was, I kind of smacked myself in the head like, oh shit, I shouldn't have thought that. But then I saw the rap sheet and I saw how fucked up he was acting, talking to Matt, mad disrespectful. This man is actually here trying to help you, and you're just being rude, all caught up in the game because you think the world owes you something for your bad choices.
But he does make a point. He does make a point in that. That they would rather spend the money to incarcerate him than to help him. And I was like, and I get that. And we know that as a system. If you know that as a system, why are you falling right into it?
Why would you do that? Exactly. Why would you fall into that trap?
The system's going to be the system until the system changes. If you know this is the way it is, don't do that. If you want to be outside free and eat your fiddle faddle, then you're going to have to set some money aside to get some fiddle faddle. I'm pretty sure the box of fiddle faddle is only like $4. Fiddle faddle's not $35, $36. You can set aside some change at the end of the month for the next month to get some fiddle faddle and make that shit last.
It's less than that because Crunchy Munch is $5.99 at Kroger's. The fiddle faddle, the generic version, isn't going to be more than $3.99.
Like you.
You went into the corner store, and to put it to perspective, and if Lady D, her Mike's fist. And I can add her back on. She can tell y'all I'm not just speaking out of my ass. In New York, those corner stores, those things are fucking staples, bro. And it's not just corner stores. There's usually whole ass delis where they make you delicious ass sandwiches in the back of it also. So if you walk into that spot and you steal a couple of boxes of the discount caramel, Funchy Munch, or whatever, and you get caught, how the fuck do you think it's okay for you to be mad at the cops for catching you? You're mad at the shop owner for saying, oh, I saw him do it. You're mad at your lawyer that's coming here pro bono to try to help you because instead of 0 days, he got you 10 days down from 35. That's bullshit.
Those people are just mad. Those people are mad that they can't do what they want to do when they want to do it.
What they want to do, yep.
However, doing what you're doing is not helping you. So I don't know what to tell you. It's like people keep doing the same cycle of tomfoolery, expecting a different result, and then getting mad that when the result's going to be the result.
It doesn't happen. Right. I was with dude until he opened his mouth and started spouting that bullshit off rip, being mad, disrespectful, and rude as fuck to Matt. Like, bruh, I understand that you're only seeing him as a public assigned defender, but he's genuinely here to try to help you. And you're demanding this shit, and this is r/entitled people. You're not owed any of that. And I know what it is to struggle, not just, struggle where I am, but again, struggle in New York. It's not a cheap city, but it is doable. And you don't have to be out here doing this stuff, bro.
You're correct. You're correct.
What's going on, girl? I don't see what you're saying here. Couldn't figure out why he stole 5 boxes instead of 1. Also, why he didn't go to the grocery store, open the box and eat a few pieces, then leave the box there like normal. Exactly.
He didn't take 5 boxes.
They said he took 5 boxes.
They said he took 5 boxes.
And they were eating 2 of the boxes out there.
They're lying.
Yeah, they
only 2 boxes.
Okay, there's only 2 boxes. Okay, there's only 2 boxes that we saw. I can't.
The cops were eating, which was funny.
Right, which the cops stole also. Which, I'm not mad at him on the point he made when he brought that up. However, the beginning crux of the situation was him being caught stealing this food, and not stealing these snacks.
You said what, lady?
I said, there you go, Ricky. I knew it was something like that. Where he was like, I only took they ate 2 and took 3 for evidence.
Yeah. Right. And I understand that, but when you look at the whole big picture of it all, and I feel like you have to take everything into context, dude, why are you mad at Matt for trying to help you out a little bit? You're demanding probation, but you've done this how many different times before?
I don't even think he's just mad at Matt. He's mad at the situation. He's mad that he put himself in the situation. He's stuck in the system again.
He's taking it out on Matt. Right.
Be mad at the system. It's fine. The system is trash. However, sir, you played right into the system by doing tomfoolery and shenanigans.
That part. Right. That's what I'm saying. So I do sympathize with his situation. However, he himself is not making the better choices to improve his situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You're wrong in thinking about it like that. I really did not have a whole lot of sympathy for him.
And there are a lot of people who didn't understand why that guy and the scenes with Matt were put in there. I was like, it's because it's trying to show that Matt is trying to work within a system that is shit.
Yep.
And he's getting tired of it. It's like giving him more reason to go out there and be Daredevil. Because if he was out there and he caught this guy stealing, he would just give him a box and be like, go on about your business. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? He would tell the people to relax about it. This is not that big of a deal. But since he is trying to do it the correct way, working within the law, he is just like bombarded with the fact that the law sometimes ain't
a lot more red tape. Yeah,
it ain't.
There's a lot of red tape there.
And it's voicing his frustration, which I get. Not the fiddle faddle with $1.25.
Enough money to buy a box. Yeah, you're right. And to bring it back to I won't say the homie, but to the man that I don't know, me and Meeks recognize from campus, help is on the way. I know for an absolute fact, just begging for money on the streets, this man made at least $300-400 a day.
He had a house down the street.
Exactly. And why do I know that? Because I know he lived 2 blocks away from me on campus. I know that he would count his shit up and I would see him at Chase Bank depositing his checks the same time I was doing mine.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. And I'm not projecting that onto this guy, but he does look like a very better kept person than just some random homeless dude that they arrested on the corner. You got somewhere to stay, is what he looked like. You have clean clothes to live in, is what he looked like. But you're still so entitled because you're mad at the system and you think they owe you something, that you can do whatever fuckery you deem to
Good
do.
luck getting it.
And it not get consequences. Your actions have consequences, bruh. That's just it, plain and simple.
Good luck.
I don't know. I don't know.
I am as much as I said, I am conflicted too, because I want to side with him, because yes, the system is trash, but how he was going about doing things relative to this case that we saw and how he was treating Matt, it doesn't fit.
I think that
no, I want to hear your thoughts, please.
I think he's just tired.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm not saying that excuses his behavior with Matt.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
If you put yourself in his shoes, he's literally like, okay, I've done bad things. But when I wasn't trying to do bad things, technically, right? Like, bad things still happen to me. I missed this appointment. Missing that appointment means that my food stamps got cut. So now, because of the way that the system is set up, right, instead of being able to get a next day appointment or even an appointment in a couple of days or a week or anything like that, so that I can have food, something that I should be able to have in the richest country in the world, right? Like, I should be able to have food to feed me. Like, I can't even get that. So I have to dumpster dive. Okay, fair enough. I got to dumpster dive to survive, right? And there's nothing sweet in the dumps. Like, there's literally no, it's like people that I know that have grown up in the projects who go to like middle class people's homes, like for sleepovers, and have gone through these nice neighborhoods, and it's like, damn, like, why can't, I think Cardi B said it best, like she would see all these white girls' rooms and it'd be like Little Mermaid and all. She's like, damn, why I can't have a Little Mermaid room? Like, why my room can't look like that or whatever else, right? And so I think he just got to the point to where he was like, I'm tired. I'm tired. All I wanted was something sweet. Now, granted, if he really did steal 5 boxes of the fiddle faddle, I think that's a whole lot. And I don't know if it was 5 boxes or 8 boxes. I'm not sure. I gotta go back and rewatch it because I think
we didn't see all those. We saw the cop eating that one box,
and he had another box in his hand. There's 2 boxes.
Yeah, they had 2 boxes, and then I don't even know if he was even had what he. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, there's that, and so it's just like I get locked up. Okay, I did my time for that thing. But doing my time for that thing means that I lose my benefits for everything else. That causes me to slip even lower than I was in the first place, which was pretty fucking low. If I gotta just survive on SSI at this age, right, and be right, like, it's pretty fucking low. And then I don't have food, so I'm just trying to get some like bright spot out of here. And then, right, talking about the system, he's thinking that Matt is a public defender. So it's like, damn. I get a public defender, and the public defender can't even fucking see. Now, I'm not saying that that's like, I'm saying, like, you can't have a blind lawyer, you can't have Braille or whatever, but from this man's standpoint, like, y'all fucked me over so much. I got locked up. All right, I did my 30 days. I took away my benefits. I had to eat out of the dumpster to survive. I ate out of the dumpster. I stole something sweet because I was tired of eating all the rotten food. Right, this is New York City, so there's rotten food and trash and shit and whatever else in those dumpsters that this man has to dig through in order to eat to survive. So I did all that. So I stole something sweet. The freaking cops possibly stole more than I did. Depending on how many boxes he had, the same amount, or stole, what I did or whatever, depending on how many boxes he actually stole. And then y'all pitting me for more boxes than I did steal, it sounds like, right? And now, the way the system works, when I'm supposed to have equal representation in front of the law, y'all gonna give me a lawyer who can't even see. So how are you supposed to read about my case? How are you supposed to do that? Y'all just got everything out in Braille? No. I know y'all don't have everything, you know what I'm saying, in Braille or translated or whatever else. 'Cause this is the world that we live in. I know y'all don't have
No,
that.
it's 2025. It is 2025. I guarantee. Actually, no, I can't even guarantee. I know for sure from my own experience working for the government in the sect that I work, there are translations there, not just for different languages, but also for Braille.
You
Okay,
don't need a
so
translation for Braille. You can just listen to it. You can just have somebody like the automated read it out type thing.
Exactly. There is no
that's
problem.
you. Because that's you, person who works for the government. But me,
regular person don't really be thinking about that.
I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about the fact that I'm locked up and y'all gave me a blind lawyer. That's like me needing to run somewhere and y'all give me a horse with 3 legs. I don't have
that
the
blind lawyer knocked it down from 35 days, because that's what they're going to give him, 35 days to 9 days. And I'm like,
yeah.
And you still ask because you don't want nothing? And then you just told him that you still gonna keep doing it because it tastes good? Okay.
It's like he's crazy.
Okay.
That is where I have to go. Okay.
I'm like, all right, sorry, if you keep falling back into these traps of the system that don't like you, the system that you know is gonna screw you over.
Do stuff, so you're right. Why would you continue on that path? That's what I'm saying, y'all. He knew when his re-update interview was supposed to be, but he still chosen when to do this stuff. So yeah, you got caught. Now you're locked up and you can't make your deadline. So even after that, they still give you different leeways. And we saw Matt talk to the prosecutor, and also, you know, the prosecutor was low key flirting. And
word.
And Matt, and Matt
want
fell
Matt's cookies. That's weird.
And Matt peaked game, and he understood the assignment. Okay, he played into it, and I do not fault him at all right, because he wouldn't have got these 10 days reduced down to this 1 day served to 9 days if she wouldn't have been in that flirty mood. So his charm, his charm level plus 10 came into clutch right there. So I get it, but again, then you get back to this dude, and I want to feel for him, and I do, but when you're looking at everything in context, sir, this is the best outcome you could.
It is.
And if you really want to take it to trial, you can do that, but the judge is then going to take account into every single, even minor infraction you have had over the years, and you very easily could end up in Sing Sing for 10 years because of the fuck keep doing and trying to put the blame on the government and the system. Do I think the system is jacked? Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying that. Do I think that everything is okay? No, I am not saying that, but I do still recognize, because I have very intimately been in that system, that you didn't have to do a lot of the things that you did, and now you're mad like a literal Karen because you have to see consequences for your actions. That's where my thoughts go with him. Yes, you don't want to have to miss your re-up interviews, I understand, but you did get caught stealing, and you did do what you're being charged with. So I don't understand why you think just yelling at Matt and making fun of him, taking jabs about him being blind and doing this because he can't get you out free of probation, no consequences. That's fucked.
I do agree that he should not have been making fun of Matt. Absolutely. And I think the point of the episode was down with the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so comparing how that system, that the justice system treated that man versus how the justice system is also treating Foggy's murderer.
And Hector.
And y'all, right?
I'm like, it's showing that Matt is getting tired of trying to work through the system.
Yeah, of trying to do right.
He's getting ready to do that Daredevil switch. Put the hat
on. Speaking of which, so and again, y'all, sound off in the chat, in the comments. Let us know how you think about that.
That's funny.
Because I do think that we're still all really on the same page. I just, when it comes to stuff, I think me and Meeks went through this a lot when we were talking about Damon for House of the Dragon. Yeah, there's bad things there, but
I'm down for his madness.
We still here. And my dude, I know you've been thieving and doing other stuff. I am here for your cause, but when you do some shit and other things happen as a result of that shit,
but at the same time,
said that about Damon also the consequences, bruh.
But it's talking about the imperfectness of the system and like how messed up it is. At the end of the day, it would have cost less money to feed this man
to feed him,
incarcerate him for the 30 days. It would have cost less money to put this man in job training, right, or to put him in rehab, working or whatever, than to lock him up for all these other the drug offenses and the whatever else. Just like we can look at people on the street, like it would literally cost less money for us to house the unhoused than it does for us to lock them up for being homeless.
The system
and I think that's the thing. So I'm not saying that he's right in his behavior at all.
No,
what I will point out is that if the system was not what it is now, right? Like if it wasn't what it is, where he landed in jail all those times, and then if the system wasn't what it is, one, you would have a better person, right? Because he'd be rehabbed, and it would actually cost us less money. Mm-hmm. So as a whole, it's better for society, right? For you to do the right thing and feed this man, right? And help him get on his feet or whatever else, than to just constantly lock him up. Like her homegirl's thought process of, well, he keeps doing it, so obviously we need harsher penalties. Matt's right. Like, you could do harsher penalties, but the way this dude is thinking about it, like, he's not seeing harsher penalties as a deterrent. That shit ain't working.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe instead of the stick, you could use a carrot and be like, okay, like, how about we do this instead? How about if you don't steal anymore, we make sure you're always fed. We make sure you always have a place to sleep. We make sure you always... Like,
what you're saying requires more work than what they want to do. It's easier to throw them in jail, which is what they do.
But it costs more money.
Right, but also, maybe devil's advocate. I don't know how it'll fall, but he's saying this all knowing how things will work in the system, but he still then goes and does what he does.
Like he said it earlier, once you know it's a trap, it's time to wise up. Like, true. You gotta stop. You gotta stop falling into the trap.
He sees the game and he knows how fucked it is. He knows what would be better for him to survive, but he still then goes and does this obtuse thing. And again, I totally do agree with you. You know, this is not the first time we've had talks about this in different fandoms. I understand, but I do also still think that the individual that is in that situation needs to take an honest, hard look about their moves and how they're going to function. That's all I'm saying. Again, not saying he's right or wrong, but there's that context and many factors that you need to take into account, which is why Matt, I think, was looking at it like, when a judge sees your whole rap sheet, there might be very little that I can do to help you, unless
so you either take the time,
we take this small deal of 10 days with the prosecutor. If you really want to go to trial, we can. And this comes up a few times in a row. Matt tells him, I don't know if that's really the route you want to go. I can try to get reduced, but 0? After 25 pages of you being on ridiculous stuff and getting probation and getting off, freedom, no consequences, but you still keep doing this stuff, that's a problem. So I don't know. I will leave that at that. Chat room, y'all sound off in the chat or in the comments later and let us know what you think.
Yeah, the water.
And okay, back. jail, and we talked about the school assembly. I thought it was hilarious how uncomfortable Fitz looked, and I don't blame him because that song, the way they were singing it, really wasn't that great.
Yep, his boots. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, I wonder if we're going to see him again in this series to further drive home the point for Matt.
I said two things can't be true at the same time. We all agree and know the system is fucked and rigged. Facts. Money could be better spent, but that speaks to our society and how the game is set up until it changes. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
Sadly, those are the things we have to try to put ourselves in.
Trash. But then we go on to the fun part of the episode when Matt decides to be a blind detective, and he goes back to the alley.
Yeah,
because that was so dope. They don't have the bullet from IO.
Yes, they got back to just the basic roots. Again, Matt is always a thorough bitch where he goes in investigating for his clients. And he walked by there. I don't remember what it was. I think maybe somebody threw something, but it hit the bullet casing that was there. And he listened and he heard it vibrate and roll down the little hill towards the sewer. And again, it's Matt. Is he blind? Yes. But can he use echolocation because of his mutation? Yes. And he does that with a bottle that's on the street corner. And he listens to how the street flows. It's going down at a little bit of a slope. And then there's a drainage there. And the slope just happens to curve in to that drain. And he goes back and he follows it. And he immediately pulls out a casing of the bullet. And wouldn't you know, lo and behold, it has a little Punisher symbol on it that we've been seeing since episode 1.
Yes, let's mark my bullets with a symbol.
Mark my bullets equals break my backs.
They are dumb. Like dumb. That's how you know that these are.
I kept seeing this.
Like dumb. Like okay, I'm gonna be a vigilante policeman. Let me mark my bullets.
Absurd. Absolutely absurd. Like my final note on episode 3 in caps was Frank would never. Y'all got this. Y'all really trying to paint the picture that he's just gonna see some random fuck shittery going down. And he's going to jump in guns ablaze without doing the proper research to know who is being wronged and why and assessing the situation. Frank Castle would absolutely never just jump into a firefight because there were some random emotions of a group involved. He is going to see very meticulously who is in the wrong. He will gather all the information. Who is in the right? Oh, they innocent? Okay, I'm gonna put them over there. Who was the worst over here in the bad pal? You, and you. Okay, if I take just you out, all this shit is dead and done. And he's gonna go after that person because he's literally the Marvel Dexter that assesses everything. And whoever the regular folks can't get, you can count that Frank is going to come up there and punish that ass. I don't know. Y'all ladies, tell me if I'm wrong.
In this instance, I don't think Frank is going to do anything because they got nothing to do with him. Frank said what he was going to do when he gets to that. Like he knows what his mission is. He knows what he's supposed to do, which is why I think, like, man, I miss them together.
Yeah, me too.
It was such a good outside of the.
Just amazing.
Outside of the defenders, they were really great. And actually, not even just them two, but it was Daredevil. Luke was in for a few cameos, and Frank, and I believe Night Nurse Rosario was also in that because like I had to remind some folks, Matt does have a type, and he likes a little mocha in his cocktail. I.e., his current girlfriend right now. A very sexy, well educated Latina then the night nurse who was Rosario Dawson, and then back then there was even a little thing with him and Misty, if you remember. So yeah.
So he finds that, and I'm pretty sure people are like, how did we see that it had the thing on it? Dog, we know Daredevil can see, kind of.
Do you not really understand at this day and age in 2025 what echolocation is?
We don't even need to go there. You know he can see. He was beating people's asses. He can see. Let's just Daredevil can see.
This is why we did not need to see the whole scene of Uncle Ben dying.
He felt that whole entire bullet, and then he was like, "Excuse me, I'll be back, y'all."
Right, hold on, bet. Scavenger hunt.
Now, what I would have liked to know is how he knew where he was, because he was in the cut in the manager's office of a building, just chilling. I'm like, I would have liked to know how he knew he was there, but okay.
Well, I think Hector's body would have been found there. So that
no. I meant how they found how he found the Punisher, because he just walked right to him. And he was like, "Hey, knock, knock, knock."
No, he wasn't chasing the Punisher at first.
He's not chasing the Punisher at all. He felt the bullet and he was like, "Oh, Frank, let me go talk to Frank."
I think it's just because right. No, that's what I'm saying. I think just because of where the bullet casing was that he found, there was a different scent there, and he was like, "Wait, hold on, is that? Nah, it can't be. Wait, it's getting stronger as I'm moving over here to the left." I think he found Frank on accident. I don't think that was on purpose. Because Frank is, if y'all know anything about Punisher, he is very good at covering his tracks.
Like, listen, I'm just like, I would like to see y'all get to the A and B of it, of how we got to Frank.
I could very well be wrong, but that's just my theory. I don't think that he actively went down there looking for him. He was looking for the casing. He picked it up, and then the wind through the tunnels blew a little bit. He was like, "Wait, hold on. I can't go back topside now. What the fuck is that? Who?" And then he rolled in, and of course, if Frank is always on immediate death notice. You jumped into his lair.
He said,
he had that blade up against your throat within 2.5 seconds.
He said what he said. Okay, it's Frank. He's going to be on 10 all the time. Okay, he's going to wake up in the morning with that thing next to him. He's ready.
Shane is back in his bag.
When he goes to the bathroom, he holds two things. Shane. Okay, he holds his penis.
Go look it up.
He's got them both. He's never without it. Never. But I just like how even in this conversation of just like the shortest catching, because pretty much that's what it was to me. Like at first, just like the catching up of it all. So you're down here now. Okay, I see what you're doing. Like even on like as you were seeing them talk, and they would focus on Frank. You see the board behind him. He's got strings. He's got shit going. He's on a mission.
Yo,
he's got.
He is that meme. He's that meme when you're trying to introduce your friends to the nerd level of MCU you are, and he's pointing to it with the cigarette in his hand, like this is the pinpoint. Yes. Yo, somebody screenshot that for me and put the comment in the chat. One of my mods will approve it, and I will show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. And wait a minute, hold on, before we continue, ladies, another fucking legend up in here. Momentum Media, Meeks. If you don't recognize that name, that is the homie Alex that was on with us in the Doctor Strange chat that we did, I believe. So it's good. I mean, we were.
I also don't remember what I did yesterday, so that does not say a lot. I don't remember.
It was a lovely convo, as I remember, and yeah, we were all a bit tipsy.
The madness.
I believe that was when he brought up like Static Shock as a comparison to something else.
Was that the madness, the Doctor Strange madness one, or
it may have been. Alex, because I can't go back and see it now. Alex, if you remember, please pop that in the chat for me. Appreciate you being here, homie. It's always good to see you. And also another life update, because I haven't seen you. I passed my citizenship test, bruh. So I can officially tell at ICE again, go fuck yourselves. I will never get tired of saying that.
I don't want it. Sorry. I flinched.
Wait, okay.
I don't want it.
Look here. Hey, Maker. See, you know damn well I do not want to see the Night of Flowers back in my MCU streets. Why
can we get the Matt from Wheel of Time to do it? I believe him.
Please.
Ooh, yeah.
Yo, if we can get that, look.
I'm just saying. I prefer him.
Oh, okay. It was Spider-Man 2. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Nope. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And guess who was not Game of the Year? I called it. Yeah. I remember that.
Full circle.
Yep. Not Game of the Year.
What you mean, poor Loris? Absolutely not. No.
The character? Because definitely not the person.
We will not be feeling sorry for Loris on those Defender streets.
So bad.
Loris should have kept his ass in the Reach with Lady Olenna. I'm sure if he would have consulted Lady Olenna first, she would have said, go sit the fuck down. And we would have gotten the Iron Fist that we deserve.
Yeah, but I honestly, I don't know. Well, did they say that the rest of the Defenders are making a cameo, or is this what everybody wants to have happen?
No, it is confirmed.
Okay.
No, it is confirmed. And actually, Finn, that's the Night of Flowers name, he was saying that he is absolutely gearing up to come back. So it's guaranteed.
Can he actually gear up and go like study and train?
I really hope so. Because that was, and again, I know tangent, but that really was the biggest downfall of the Defenders show. Not even the Defenders show, but the fucking Iron Fist. His co-stars, Colleen Widge, again, shout out to Game of Thrones because she was one of the Sand Snakes, and
killing it.
Who was who else was it? Rosario was in that. All of his side characters outshined him, and you know what? Because our Sand Snake, we already knew she was about that business, and she came through with the katana and fucking it up for a real one. And what happened after the Defenders with her katana? She got dual wielding Iron Fist level powered up katana. So yeah, she's that shit. We want her. We want Luke Cage back. We want Rosario back because it's the night nurse. Do y'all know the significance of the night nurse? The night nurse is literally the person that patches up all of the street level heroes, including Daredevil, as we saw, including all of the Defenders.
You don't need to.
We saw the Punisher, everyone.
If you didn't watch Iron Fist, you
can
read a synopsis.
You can skip Iron Fist.
You can
Matter of fact,
it's fine.
If you don't want to watch the show, and this is a hack. I always look forward to. Okay, listen. No, wait. You will get a lot of the big scenes and commentary you need if you go over to Daniel CC Movies. He's got, I think there's like 3 different channels he has with Daniel CC at the beginning. He will break down all of those shows in very good detail, like an hour and a half videos tops every time, and you'll know what happened in that season without having to watch all like 10 hours.
There was 2 seasons of this show, so
you got that. And you know what? I agree with you. Alex. Yes, season 2 was better, but the Night of Flowers still leaves a lot lacking in his movements. Again, still, I think Colleen and Misty were still the best things about that season. And let's not forget, in the comics, Iron Fist, Danny Rand, the Night of Flowers, he's married to Misty. So let's not forget about that.
I'm done. I don't want to talk about him anymore. I'm done. I don't want to talk about
all right, but okay, yes. So back to the ad libs here. Iron Fist is far better than Secret Already. I mean, yeah, that's debatable. We'll put a pin in that.
I don't want it either.
So after
right, you're like, well, this cold trash is better than this warm trash.
Come on.
Like, what?
I'm good. I'm good. But we were in the middle of talking about the very important Frank and that conversation. Listen,
he goes down there.
I understood that he went down there because he was feeling a type of way. He wanted to talk to somebody who was doing whatever he wanted to do, however he wanted to do it, with no like qualms about it.
Yes. Yep.
And he just wanted permission to do what he felt he needed to do. And
he still tried to play the good old boy, and Frank told him, like, no, you're not down here to get help. You down here because you wanted permission. Just like Foggy said, let's not erase the memory of Foggy from the very beginning. I didn't want to give you a reason. And now Frank is saying here, now, like, bro, you just need a reason. You're looking for permission.
Exactly. Like, you already have your reason. You know what you need to do. You know what you want to do. But you don't want to do that because you feel like you want to work within this system. Sir, how is the system serving you? How is the system serving you? All right. Like, what do you want me to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And like when he told Matt after he yelled that Bullseye got life, and he was like, well, what did Foggy get? I was like, sir, I would have fought you. I'm leaving. I'm not standing here for that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that. But he was right, though. And I just want Matt to be Daredevil so badly. Like, sir, you got to stop being afraid of you. I don't like it. Cheese me no like it. It's not a good look, but I do enjoy their conversation together. Because Frank isn't stupid. Frank is very knowledgeable. He pegged him the moment he walked in, like, so you're here to have a conversation with me about seeing it's okay for you to do what you want to do. Well then. Double well. See, now I'm just reading the chat.
Like, oh, so basically you can't even say his name.
Oh,
like you two, right? Like you don't even want to admit it to yourself that this is what's going on.
God.
Well, I'll say it for you. I hear my son. He tells me to kill all these motherfuckers.
I was like,
and I'm looking at him. He's like, "Is Foggy even telling you to kill all these?" That's basically what he was saying.
He was like, well, what you finna do about it? Your friend is dead forever, never coming back, and the man who did it is in jail, eating 3 square meals a day, getting walked outside in the yard, playing outside. What you finna do?
Same air you breathing, straight up. Like, you want your taxes going to...
Listen, he was like, both of y'all are breathing the same fucking air. How is that fair? Huh?
Same air. You like that? Is that what you like here?
What did I miss?
Oh, we were just talking about how Frank put emphasis on the syllable that Bullseye is alive and your friend Foggy, the one you care about so much, is dead. And what you finna do about it, dog?
Right, like, do you hear him? Is he right there sitting next to you when you're trying to sleep? Like my son be talking to me.
Yep. Listen, body shots, jabs, uppercuts. He was hurting.
That's the thing from Punisher. I feel like just echoes so true from the comics. That's just in his character. He's not out here being crazy, killing for nothing like a lot of people think. No, he actually does his research.
He's got a list.
He is Dexter. He is the MCU Dexter to me. If you put me on a jury for Dexter or for the Punisher, you would get a not guilty plea every time.
Listen,
that was public service.
Jamie Lannister, the Hound.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say it every night before I go to sleep.
Unless I say the names, I have to say the names, or I can't sleep
every single time. That's why I appreciate him, and I just, it speaks to their relationship that he went in there and Frank knew what he was asking of him, and told him like, "Why the fuck you asking me?"
It was a very quick flashback of watching what was it, like the first Latrice Royale season of RuPaul's Drag Race, and he came in, look, you got the shit, okay, don't fuck it up, all right, Shantae, you stay, and he gave all the right notes. This is where you're supposed to be. You don't need permission, dude. You don't need to validate yourself. You know what's right. You know how it is to try to operate with that mindset. It's the exact same reason that I do what I do, and you know that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, he's like, sometimes the law ain't fair, dog. Sometimes you gotta be the law. And
Right. Sometimes you gotta make the law.
So what you finna do?
Wrench around and wrench it off.
Says that man sobbing. He leaves crying. He can't deal.
Right. Yo, this is the most we have ever seen things affect Matt like this. He is literally sobbing throughout that whole exchange. That's not a thing that Matt does.
Man, he needed it though, because he hasn't really dealt with the death of his friend.
100%. And speaking of that, once he leaves the little hidey hole that the Punisher has, he gets back to his apartment, and again, Matt has typed a little shot of mocha with this a fine ass Latina woman. She's in the apartment like, bruh, I thought you was just like ignoring me, so I had to come see. Like, you good?
No,
you're all right.
But what does he say?
And they have a little conversation, and they start cuddling. And I did not disagree with anything that happened in the minutes after that, because homie absolutely needed some stress relief.
It wasn't enough because he was staring. His blind self was staring.
It was not.
It wasn't what he needed.
It sated him for just a bit, and then he got back up and he looked into the secret Daredevil cave. We saw all of the helmets, including the one that we saw he had made by I forget what his name was, but homie in California when he was over there with She-Hulk. And he goes out, he grabs his weapons. He doesn't need the mask for this because he's just on the roof. And I don't know if y'all know anything about like luxury, I won't say really luxury, but more upscaled apartments in New York and all over. I live in one of them now, and I'm in Ohio. There are certain things that you are privileged to, and there's not a whole lot of folks that are going to see him doing the training, the retraining, better to speak, of what he's doing. He takes out a couple of his weapons. He's seeing how it moves in his hands, if he could still do the movements he needs to do, because he was taught by Stick, who was another blind man, but also a master of many different arts of martial arts. And he's practicing because we can already see the gears have been turning.
He need to go back out there.
He went and talked to Frank.
He has to go.
He knows he has to get back out there. Yeah,
he gotta go boop a snoot.
He has to be fit to do that, right? Boop.
He's gotta go boop some snoots. Period.
He has to be out there, and he has to be on the level to do that. So he's got to practice, and that's what he's doing. And again, kudos to his girlfriend, because yes, Matt needed that stress relief, and that bit of clarity that came after is what aligned himself back correctly in his brain. This is who you are, just like Hector was saying. This is who he is. This is who you are. You can't deny that. If you do, shit is going to continuously go wrong in your life. So you got to get back to base one.
Get back on that horse, dog. And then we end with my second favorite thing in the whole entire world.
Go ahead.
We see Fisk. You know what I'm saying? Fisk is ridiculous. He goes down to whatever basement. I don't know where he is. It could be under his house, wherever. He goes down there and it's a table. And he pulls out his chair and he sits down, and the top of a tray opens up, and it's a nice sized spaghetti pasta situation with meatballs or sausages and all this stuff. Because he'd been eating like egg whites in a.
Was anyone else concerned about that meal though? Because it looked really off to me. It was like French fries on top of little sausages. And
it was pasta. It was pasta.
It looked like French fries to me.
It was Italian sausages,
whole sausages, not
pasta.
Slices. Whole 3-4 whole sausages sitting on top of some pasta. I'm like, okay,
but who he got in that Christian Grey, 50 Shades of Grey room though?
Well, he's sitting there eating because he's trying to maintain an image.
You think that's Adam?
Yes, that is Adam. He said it was.
I don't know when did he say
What it was. He was talking
like,
to him. He was
he
like,
was
Adam.
like, "What's
he
up,
said his
Adam?"
name?
or whatever.
Don't you
Yeah.
understand? Like, I've got
Okay,
to come down here and be the thing. You know what I'm saying?
okay, I must have missed that. I didn't
Yeah,
He's
know.
like,
so
"Please let me out, please." And he's like,
please
"Yum
let
yum
me
yum,
out. And
sausages."
he was like, nah, bro. Nah.
The one thing that I noticed about him is he has long, very like Fabio luscious hair. If you're too young to know who Fabio is, go ask your moms about Harlequin romance and you'll understand.
Lord, not
But
the
he looked
hot.
like a
not
very
the-
Fabio person with the hood, and we're supposed to be getting the hood coming up. But I thought that was supposed to be in She-Hulk. I don't know. Maybe they revamped it because She-Hulk season 2 has been canceled, I believe.
Girl, I don't
Either way, I'm interested in seeing what the fuck Fisk has going on because, like we've been telling y'all this whole time, Fisk has not at all put away the Kingpin persona.
No, it's underground. That's why he was eating that big fat juicy meal when he's upstairs starving, trying to be mayor. He's down here being the kingpin. Like, I'm gonna eat this
Being
delicious
all
ass
the
food.
extravagance.
Well, I'm gonna tell you all the ways that if I weren't trying to be a person, I'm going to eat your ass. I'm going to eat your ass from the front and from the back. I'm going to rip off your arm. Okay, I'm going to smash your face.
It sounded good at first. Then he was like, "Gonna rip your arm
Hold
off."
on, you're like, wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. I didn't.
Yeah.
Hold on.
How you go from like -5 to 80,000? Like, bro, hold on.
Yeah.
You didn't even talk to me first. Maybe we could have struck a deal. And I do know that there is a new character coming. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah. And Ricky says, she goes.
Talking about the movie, The Avengers. That's what it happened. Like the Secret War one.
Is because Ironheart has the hood. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's where the hood is coming in. But this guy here, I don't know. Oh, he said it was Adam? Okay.
Yeah, he said it was Adam. He definitely said it was Adam. Because
okay.
I was hollering. I was like, not Adam in the cage watching this man eat. Aren't you scared? He was hollering for his life. Help! Let me out!
He was
like crybaby.
He was crybaby. Oh, look, if y'all love like old school Johnny Depp, go watch Crybaby. It's a great movie. Yeah, I didn't catch it because I hadn't seen any visual representatives of Adam before. So
the answer is yes, Jackie.
I will look at that. What the hell, Jackie? Talk about?
Yeah. He says,
"Is the eating ass part supposed to be a bad threat, or is he just horny?"
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if those two things are mutually exclusive.
I'm just saying yes.
Right? Right? I mean, you'll see where it goes.
Look, do you?
Hey.
Do you?
Hey. It might change if you make him happy.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, he was there screaming for his life. And then I'm really, you know what? I'm really scared for him because if he flips that kingpin switch, that man is definitely never going to be seen again.
Ever.
Ever.
But here's the thing, you'd already flipped the kingpin switch. You got him locked down there while you're eating pasta.
Yeah,
I like it's still underground a bit.
No, you know what? See, and again, that's why I say he's such a damn hypocrite. You're talking all this bullshit. She asked you specifically not to hurt him. You know, I think kill was the exact thing.
Yeah, don't kill him.
You should know, but he should know better, and he does know better. But because he's a petty bitch, he's keeping his man under rocks, eating his sausages and spaghetti.
Following instructions. You are alive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else you want.
He knows that.
What do you want from me? You're breathing.
Not killing you. Okay.
Damn.
Tell you, man. You just try to follow rules, and people just, gosh.
Yeah, but I feel like he might be the first casualty of him going back to Kingpin.
Yeah.
Or I feel like he might be the first casualty. She's either gonna follow him and see this and be like, the fuck, and he's gonna be like, you know what?
Well, see what happened.
Hey, and be like, you know what?
Okay. Yeah, see, and I firmly believe, like when Mazgo asked her if she was okay in the relationship, yeah, she is okay. because it would take an extreme amount of
Yeah.
things that we can't even fathom
I don't
for
even
him
know.
to physically harm her, or even order someone to physically harm her.
I don't think he ever would. I feel like he would just leave her before he would hurt her.
I feel
Agreed.
like he'd lock her up in like a, like a penthouse or something like that before like a gilded cage situation.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere and do anything you want, but I'm gonna keep you safe.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm waiting for him to snap, and I hope it is in one of the episodes tomorrow. Please.
Yeah.
Please let him. They're giving us 2. They got to give us 2. They gave us 2 for a reason.
I'm ready to see what Muse is up to. Like,
yeah, that thing. Listen, I don't like him.
Because that last scene of the episode with in the train, like,
I don't want it.
oh my god,
No, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Not painting with the blood. Like, so what are you doing with these paintings? Are you displaying them? Are you keeping them for yourself?
Yeah, why are you using people's blood? That's clearly what you're like, harvesting blood from people. You've got them hanging up in the
This is from the thigh meat. That's the ooh. I don't want that.
Yeah, because who is that guy? And I have searched my own nerd banks to see who was. I'm gonna have to Google, but yeah, I don't know if I want to even spoil myself.
Oh, are you talking about the guy on the table or the Muse?
No, the guy. Well, not the guy on the table, but the guy that's doing the things. We see
I'm gonna Google it.
Again,
you don't want to know. You don't want to look because it will spoil you.
I'm just looking to see who the actor is.
No, I don't have an answer. I'm just saying what I thought when I saw it. I like that there was a melanated man drug in there, and then he left him wherever he cuffed him to go back and look at somebody else and inject them with whatever viscous.
Oh, he's not injecting. He's sucking blood out.
He was extracting.
Yeah, and painting.
He's sucking the blood out of them. That's what I'm saying. Don't look at it because you'll spoil. Because I looked it up and I shouldn't have, because then I kept reading and I was like, oh my gosh! And then I found like PDF of this just don't.
Girl, you was clicking buttons, huh?
Okay,
I was just clicking all the way.
Look it up. I'm not going to look it up, but I will keep that in mind because now I am even more curious. Because that's in all of the articles I've read about, I don't recognize him right off the bat.
First of all,
he is a sick, twisted person.
You know, Fisk's what do you call him? The front man?
What?
His name in the show is Artie Frusciante.
Artie Frusciante.
Yes. I'm like, girl,
why does that sound familiar? You know what that sounds like?
His Artie Frusciante, like, sir.
No, that you know what you know, in the spirit of the vampires that we just got done talking about, he sounds like he lived on Louis' block.
Yeah.
Artie Frusciante. I do not recognize that name. I will have to look it back up. Okay. Yeah, it's been forever since I've read some of these comics, so he might be a low level character that I just
let me get out of here. That actor, I knew exactly who that actor is, and I went, okay, never mind. Let me close out of this.
Oh, enlighten me, please. What did you, just on what you saw?
No,
text it to me.
A spoiler, no, because you didn't watch Wednesday, so you don't know.
I did watch Wednesday.
Yeah, you said you didn't watch Wednesday.
No, I watched the full recap, so I know like pretty much all the highlights. And again, plug for Daniel CC movies. Yeah, he is very good at all of the breakdowns he does. Yeah, they're always like an hour or an hour 30 long. Like so you get all the stuff
out of it. I saw his face and
I will go
do it. Do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll be in here like,
what I thought. The thing is, what I thought. It's what I thought.
Just so you guys know, Wednesday is on my backlog, like a modern retro things to do. We'll get to it. We just don't always have time in between lifing.
Yeah, but he's
That's
that
all.
dude is sucking the blood out of the thigh and painting with
Interesting.
it because the thigh is the juiciest piece to get the bloods from.
And I'm pretty sure, like all the graffiti that we've been seeing, like the reason why they do, like they looked at that the graffiti of Fisk, and then when
Mhm.
Hector was dead, the graffiti outside of the club, right? Like they zoomed in. I think that all of the graffiti that we've been seeing around is Muse,
I think
which
the
means
last one
that
we saw
all
was
of
signed actually Muse at the bottom.
it was, which means that all of that graffiti, y'all, is blood.
Mm-hmm.
All of
But
that is.
yeah, sounds
Imagine
like
how many people you would have to bleed in order to have enough paint to paint the things that we have been seeing around the city. I don't even want to go. Just no.
Listen, I can't wait, and I
we
hope
will
we get to see
see.
more of
We will
Muse next
see.
episode.
We'll see where it goes, and I am looking forward to it. I almost want to think that there may be a small cameo for Echo to come through and tag team with Daredevil.
I don't think so.
It's extra tinfoil. It's extra tinfoil.
Like she is
I'm
just.
not
She's
saying
just
it would.
She's just living in her freedom of Fisk
I
and
think she's gone now.
responsibility to Fisk.
I know
And
she's
her
living in
family.
her freedom, but I think we were also given the character of Kari in What If, specifically because of Native American ties with Echo. So I think we'll be seeing her again at some point.
Right, Jesus.
It may not be here, but we'll see. Anywho's it though? What are we rating this episode on, ladies? What do we got?
Well, I'm giving this a 9. Mine's easy. I'm giving this a 9 because that conversation with the Punisher.
9
Yeah.
what?
We need it.
9 skulls
We can.
for the Punisher. Okay, all right. He's got 9
9
skulls.
skulls. Because I enjoyed the conversation with the Punisher, and I also enjoyed the fact that we're seeing both of their masks starting to slip.
So okay, so sirs break our skulls. Is what instead of breaking skulls, what you got, B?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I know you're like, why? But here's why. I just cannot
It's awesome.
we're at episode 4. You're gonna get the extra 0.5 from me from last episode because we had the Punisher, and good lord. Yes. Right? And we got to see Muse more in all of his glory. And we got to see what happened to Adam actually. Like there are good things that happened in this. But at the same time, as good as this is, I have to believe that the episodes that are coming and the season finale are going to be better than this. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5 so that I have room to move up when something truly amazing happens tomorrow night, which I think has to. Like I don't know if they're gonna start unveiling the fact that it's Muse out here. Like if people are gonna start, because I have to go back and watch the first episode, but I feel like there was missing people. There were missing people, right?
Yeah,
okay, so like at some point, like this missing people thing is gonna get out of hand or whatever, and people, or maybe someone will escape or whatever, and it's gonna come to a head like, yo, these people are missing because this dude has an underground lair in the subway where he's coming through your windows, he's snatching your people up, like he is taking hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your husband too. He's taking them and bleeding them dry and painting on walls with their blood, because what kind of crazy is that, right? Like, I have to believe that. I'm waiting. I feel like when Fisk finally snaps, right, and we see him go back to Kingpin, whatever episode that is going to be amazing. That episode and the episode of the fallout of it is going to be freaking amazing. And it's probably going to have to do something with Vanessa. So, like, I just want to see that. Like, that, those are going to be 9 and 10, like, rated episodes for me, for sure. And then I'm also leaving space, like, for the unlikely event that we do get crossover or, like, anything, like some special guest stars, like, you know what I'm saying? We get our heroes for hire. Like, I would love to see Luke Cage again. I would love to see Jessica again. Like, I would love. Thank you for giving me the Punisher. Like, I appreciate that so much, even with all his hair
and his misplaced anger. But that's what I like. He has a lot of that. It's great. So I'll give it an 8.5, and it's because I'm
Nice.
hoping that we'll get something better.
Mhm.
What up? Yeah, I think I'll also give them an 8.5 because yeah, this was a really really great episode, and I'm looking forward to more. And I think they can also improve on it. So that's basically it for the stream for the evening on Wednesday.
Finally.
We're at the yes we are at the beginning finally of the Wheel of Time episodes 1 and 2.
Mhm.
And I know if you're watching Meeks' channel, you probably already seen her episode 1, and that episode 1 was a very special fan premiere that Meeks and Lady D watched. I don't have all of my video from that synced up yet, but you will see it soon enough. And if you come back Wednesday, we're gonna talk about episodes 1 and 2 for season 3 of the Wheel of Time. It's going to be awesome sauce. As always, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Wheel of Time is pretty fucking cool. And I love it. And I'm looking forward to JD throwing like all of the shade because I know how he feels about some of these TV shows are going. But we always like to hear, I won't necessarily say discourse, but just a different point of view because he is a book reader while we are not. So context we like, but absolute spoilers not allowed. You will get mad, so don't bring them there. Anywho's in though. Let's see. Again, Wednesday, like I said, we're doing the Wheel of Time, season 3, episodes 1 to 2. Friday on Citadel of Trivia channel, we have Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire, World trivia, and then Tuesday, what I think we have another thing coming on with DJ and Fandom. We'll see how that goes. Meeks, I know you got some stuff coming out too. What you got?
Hold on. This next week is birthday week. Yes, it is. So
it is. Yes,
it is. April 1st is my birthday. So I'll be taking off to like recording all the things. And I'm doing something special on my gaming channel. It is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'll be announcing it towards the end of this week on my channel. If you're interested in anything gaming related, Manic Meeks Gaming, go over there. It's a lot of fun. Here I am watching Yellow Jackets. I'm almost caught up before the next episode. I'm a week behind. So I'm still watching Yellow Jackets.
It's a good show.
Solo Leveling. I am watching. I kind of slowed down besides like doing Daredevil and Wheel of Time. I think that's it. I'm not really doing much because I have to gear myself up to record next week when I'm off. So, but mostly I'll just be focusing on my gaming channel because I have a big project I assigned myself and I want you guys to watch because it's going to be really fun and frustrating and fun. There.
Good
That's
stuff.
I put out a video.
What?
I did a
What?
thing.
What the hell? Okay, see, you two, me and you are about to have some discourse because how the fuck you got Lady D vids out here and I did not get any notifications. Sorry.
I don't know, but it's there.
Okay.
Straight up, I promise.
All right, well, and Jackie has us hooked up.
Goddamn.
Right, look, I'm about to go watch as soon as we get.
I was like, click.
I did a thing.
You did. You can't watch that video,
please.
Can't watch it. You can't watch it.
Okay, we can, and I catch up. Okay,
you cannot watch it. I can watch
If
it.
you haven't watched Wheel of Time yet, then you can't watch it.
Yeah, for everyone else that is up to date for Wheel of Time, please go check out Lady D's channel, and she will let you know her thoughts on the episode. And also, again, I have to always give a vibe to the shout out that is the Black Wild Link and the conspiracy twins of A Song of Ice and Fire, as I have dubbed them.
I can't wait for a Dunkin' Egg. Oh,
Girl, you.
I'm really looking forward to Dunkin' Egg. I think it's shaping up to be so good. The casting has been really great at all point. So I am really, really looking forward to it. And to that dude that tried to at me in the comments, I don't care if you think that book readers are more special than show watchers. Fuck you and everything you stand for.
What are you talking about?
We love good nerd content, and we will always stand that.
I'm confused. Who?
It wasn't on either our channels. It was I forget whose channel it was. It was in the comments.
Like, who the fuck? I'm reading it like, what the fuck?
My comment on the video I saw was, I absolutely want the She-Wolves of Winterfell. I can't wait until we get some more Duck and Egg adventures. However, I wouldn't be upset about an actual series about what's west of Westeros, Adventures with Arya. I think there's some cool shit that she could run up on in that, especially with her magical assassin wishy ways. Now that would come in clutch if she ends up circling the globe and headed up to Althos or Sothorios.
I'm going to stop you right there.
That's great.
You've got to realize you can't say that stuff around us because we're all like, who? Everybody's like, where?
Who is in? Wait, who in referring to what?
We were trying to figure out who said that. Look, all of us like, who? Look at this, who?
Who are her? Me too. I'm looking through the I'm like, who did it? Where they at?
Where they at though?
I'll get in that car.
It was some random fucking neckbeard in a comment section that was giving fedoras a bad name. And y'all know I love fedoras, but for whatever reason, they're associated with that community. I'm telling y'all, not all of us are the same. And yeah, they were just super butthurt because I said that I think a show about Arya going west of Westeros and finding out what magics and knowledge are to be found out there. I know how Alyssa Farman went and tried to see what was out there. Her ship by itself ended up in a shy. I thought that could be cool, but yeah, they had a lot of words and thinking that I was at fault. Me and people like me were at fault because if we didn't like to see new things and expand the lore, then George would have already written the last books.
I don't like that.
I don't understand. I didn't understand how they thought that me saying
that
I want
like
the
to
book.
see that.
However, I'm not opposed to the adventures of Arya on the uncharted high seas. What was a bad thing, but I was to blame because I'm hindering George from writing the materials that they want to read about
that you have
and all that shit. Yeah, it wasn't on my channel. That's what. If it was, I would have just blocked them. But I remember it because I just laughed at like the whole 50% of the combo.
A cool man from writing books,
right? Like exactly. How am I random immigrant black girl from Guyana
fan
to affect what this super famous successful white man in America is doing?
Okay, all right.
Word.
Well,
okay. You go ahead and say your delusion. I'm gonna love the nerd shit in its entirety.
Exactly, Jackie. Jackie, you just gotta tell her to stop hindering him. Should be better.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, Charlie Murphy. I didn't know that I needed to just sit here and be quiet, then we would get a dream. What is it? The storms of winter, the winds of winter, and the dream of spring. I'm sorry, Charlie Murphy. I apologize. It was my fault. R.I.P. Charlie Murphy. Y'all know what I mean when I say that. If you don't know, look up Dave Chappelle, Charlie Murphy. You'll find out.
Hello, Murphy.
But yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Super excited. Oh, I scared myself.
All right, so come back to us, fam. Wednesday.
Oh, I'm so excited for Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday is when we will be full on diving into season 3 of The Wheel of Time, episodes 1 and 2. we'll have it popping off. And don't forget to also join me, Fandom, and DJ Wun Wun on DJ's channel tomorrow. I believe we'll be talking about some more Daredevil, and we'll see how we'll go from there. So, and thank you guys all for coming through. Miss Boots, Jackie, Ricky Hunt. Yeah, Ricky Furl. It really is really great to see you. Alex, yo, we got to do a thing, bruv. We got to do a thing. Let me know when you're free so we can get you on one of our panels here. Yep, poor Sir Loris. No, we don't do that around these parts. Absolutely not. Hey, Maker. Thank you for coming in. Mother Rome was in here. Dominica Edwards was in here. Corinne was in the spot earlier. Let me scroll. See how far. Let me scroll back up. Miss Boost, Lady V. There's a few folks on my Silver Sight. Reggie, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming through. Haymaker, I see you, bruv. Amy L. Miss Boots. And StreamYard won't let me go past that. So if I missed you, I apologize. I think Edward Martin was in here also. Another one of our old school homies. Appreciate you coming through. Damaris. Karen KP came through for a little bit. Appreciate you, brethren. And Corinne. And we'll see y'all on Wednesday. Okay. So please try to stay safe in these tumultuous times. And stop by the channel maybe on Saturday night or so. I might do a random drunken round table and celebrate being able to tell ICE to go fuck themselves since I passed all my citizenship tests.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, we'll see y'all Wednesday for some magical icy die. Great.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Amen. I'm so excited.